Okay. There was a problem there when I plugged in my headphones, so should be corrected now. No, it's not. There's no sound. Oh boy. Not good. 1 second. Hello? No, it's not. There's no sound. Oh boy. Okay, I can hear sound now. All right, my headphones are working. All right. There we go. Sometimes there's a glitch when I plug in my headphones. It interferes with the my sound. Well, my headphones. I don't know why. Anyway, looks like we're good to go. It sounds a little loud to me, honestly. I'll move the mic away a bit. Maybe that'll help. Yeah. Sounds a bit loud. Let me check. Go. That's a little better. Yeah. It's tough to find the exact right position for the microphone. But anyway, I think it's okay now. Make little micro adjustments to my light. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right. So hello all and welcome. It is I, the Realist Philosopher. And this is the Realist Philosopher Show. So how y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing good, fine, and well. I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. I feel okay. Could be better. Could be worse. Whatever. Lower this mic a bit. Yeah. That's not too bad. All right. Hooah. So, who we got in the room? We got Dashing Rogue, Bird Up. Guess he's talking about Stolas. But anyway, yeah. Matty Ice, hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Thank you, Matty. Styx is legit missing. Yeah, he's, I don't know about missing. I mean, he's missing in regards to his YouTube content. Maybe somebody knows who he is, where he is. Parents, probably. I don't know. We're going to find out, though. We're going to find out, baby. Bookworm Addict's in the house. Hello? Hello, Bookworm. How you doing? Dashing Rogue. I think they deported Styx. He's from America. Where are they going to deport him to? What? By the way, what other country would want this guy? Are you kidding me? Nobody wants this guy. Come on. What do you think? The Netherlands wants him back? Nah. Nah, man, they don't want him. Nobody wants this guy. I don't even know if his parents want him, yo. You think his parents want him back? I mean, maybe so he can pay rent? I guess they missed the money. I wonder if he's still paying their property taxes. Gotta doubt it. Yeah. I think that's what they probably miss. They probably miss the money. I think that's about it, honestly. I don't think they miss the man himself. I mean, well, if you could call him a man, I mean, Styx a man. I guess technically, like, he's got the right bits, but I don't know. I don't know if he qualifies as a man. I mean, only in the, strictest biological sense, but not, I don't think he's a man. He's too, irresponsible. Doesn't take care of his business, as the, Quadrados say. Take care of your business, Styx. Yeah, he doesn't. No. He does not. So, pretty pathetic excuse for a man, if there ever was one. But, are you out there, Styx? You listening to me, buddy? Huh? He's not going to reply. Unless it's via, a sock puppet account, right? Yeah, pretending to be somebody else. You don't have the balls. You don't have the guts to reply directly. It's unfortunate. It would be quite amusing if he did. Joseph Camp. Styx is possessed by Stolas. I don't know. I don't think Stolas has to possess him, man. that get Styx to do dumb crap. Frank Pop, just here for the Styx info. Okay, well, we'll get to it. Bookworm Addict sent a mystery gift for 650 jewels. Ooh. Thank you very much. Bookworm Addict, very generous of you. Very much appreciated. Excellent. That's great. See, it's that kind of support that helps my channel keep going. If you got some jewels, well, you can give them to me. I take jewels, take cash, I take credit cards, whatever you got, baby. Lukey World, good evening. So what do we reckon that Styx is dosed up on in a cabbage-like state as he gets detoxed? Dude, he ain't detoxing. What are you talking about? He's getting toxed. He's getting toxinated. He ain't getting detoxed. Are you kidding? Lukey World, benzos. Isn't benzos something people take to deal with, like, anxiety or, like, other mental health problems? Wasn't Jordan Peterson on a bunch of benzos? Didn't he have to go to Russia to be put into a chemically induced coma for a month to escape the DTs, the big wuss that he was? The Brother Goose, hey, Brother Goose, all jokes aside, I hope he's okay and should get serious help. Yeah, you and me both. He did agree to inviting this on himself. I agree. Everybody says they can hear me okay. That's good. Kalashnikova. Hey, Kalashna. How you doing? Stellus will not be denied his contract's benefits. Oh, I love the owl emojis. Yeah. I love how this guy thinks he's got a demon owl protector or some kind of a guardian demon because he saw an owl. He hallucinated an owl when he was like 4. Probably had some bad gravy, just like Ebenezer Scrooge talking to, what was it, the ghost of Christmas Past? You're probably just a spot of bad gravy. Yeah. Okay, buddy. That was actually real. Well, movie, so it's fake. But you get my point. Isaac Kemp. Hey, Isaac. Styx has gone from hanging out with Alex Jones and Sleazy Martini to hanging out in the gutter. He could be homeless. It's possible. I seriously doubt it. I think if he had to, he'd just go back to Vermont, right? I mean, we're going to find out. We're certainly going to, limit our options, right? We're going to narrow our options down a bit. At the very least, Lukey World, I bet parents are happy to finally have peace after 40 years of Styx's autistic, narcissistic crap. Could you imagine? Well, they had some peace when he left, right? He was in the Netherlands, wasn't he, for a few years? He was overseas, right? How long was he over there in, what was it, Holland? Was he in Holland? Amsterdam? Like 2-3 years or something? Yeah, probably a good time for them. He's probably sending them money, right? But they didn't have to deal with him. Brother Weaver, he appears to be active enough to upload to Rumble. What? When? What? No, I just checked his YouTube. He hasn't uploaded anything. What? No way. Hold on. Okay, we got to check this out. One of my unpaid employees / agents has told me Styx is on Rumble. That doesn't seem possible. No. He hasn't posted a video in 21 days on Rumble. I don't think. Yeah, it's been 3 weeks. What you talking about? He ain't on Rumble. I keep track of this guy. I know where he isn't, at the very least. We know he's not producing content, so, yeah. I'm quite sure of that. Yeah, I was going to say, what are you talking about? Are you on Spice now? No, I know for sure this guy is not produced content. Maybe his bitch. No, he wouldn't be on BitChute. He wouldn't be posted anywhere, man. He's up and vanished. It's quite on purpose. Yeah, quite on purpose. Yeah, I'm just posting that I'm live now on Twitter and Facebook and Gab, so we can get the party started. Yo. Yeah, I knew he wasn't nowhere. I mean, unless you think that 3 weeks is recent, which it ain't. Bookwormatic, welcome. Luke World, benzos are used to treat alcoholic seizures. Really? Okay. Dude, I haven't been on too many prescription medications, yo, except for some blood thinners, right? And some stuff for my kidneys after my sepsis. No, I don't know anything about that, honestly. And I've heard benzos are very dangerous. Aren't they highly addictive and possibly life-threatening in terms of like detox? I mean, I don't know. I've heard some bad stuff. Didn't Jeremy supposedly take benzos? That guy's on a pharmacy load of crap. He's got gout. Good Lord. How you get... Dude. Uric acid, I think. I think it's uric acid. Yeah, like eating too much red meat, but also too much booze. It's the booze. Like, I just posted a video on my channel depicting Jeremy Hamley as, like, the Green Lantern. Like, this guy, he's got, like, 3 of the most powerful vices in human history that a person can have, and he's claiming he dropped them all in 30 days. I stopped the pilling, I stopped the boozing, I stopped the eating. All in 30 days. Really? Really, buddy? You gave it all up. Like, the most powerful vices. Booze, drugs, alcohol. Booze, alcohol, same thing. And food, overeating. And you quit all, cold turkey. Really? You must have the strongest will on planet Earth, right? You're like... You're like the ultimate Green Lantern, man. You would, like, rule the Green Lantern Corps. You have the most powerful will in the freaking cosmos then, pal. Of course, we know he doesn't. He has no self-control. He's lying out his, well, you know what. It's a funny video, by the way. I suggest you take a look. Brother Weaver, I think he broke his computer again. No! He would tell us. He's got access. He has a phone. He has a cell phone. Mel has a cell phone. The potato has a cell phone. He would let us know via Twitter if that was the case. Brother Weaver, stop blaming the parents. What? Come on, man. His parents are real... yeah, they're... Klashkova. Styx's mom is a druggie and his dad is a criminal. You're enabling his behavior. It's a big reason why he's the way he is. Come on, Brother Weaver, you gotta admit that a large part of why Styx is the way he is because of his parents. Now, granted, as a fully cooked human being, it is his responsibility to change, to evolve, to become a better person. It's not on his parents anymore, but they are contributing to this guy's continued downfall by enabling him for 2 decades, the better part of 2 decades, right? And they did create this dude, so I think we can ascribe some responsibility to them, at the very least. Lukey World, quit a vice, pick up a virtue. Yeah, I think you mean drop a virtue, pick up a vice. That's really what Styx practices, right? I mean, that's assuming he had any virtues to begin with. I don't know if he did. It doesn't seem like it too much, but yeah. Klashnikova, Brother Weaver, not saying Styx should be excused for any of his behavior. His parents definitely contributed. Yes. They obviously did. That said, I mean, you know, he's responsible for the man he is now. That would be my point of view. The picture's pretty good. I don't think I have to do anything with it. Not sure it's perfectly centered, but it's close enough. All right, so let's do this. I got to open up my show. Okay, hold on a sec. Got to open up my show notes here. Okay, August, show. We're already on show 10 of August. Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! All right. Yeah, it's been almost 6 months since I've been back creating content. It's been over 5, I know that. Oh, man. Yeah. I was tired. I was so tired this past weekend. Kind of tired this morning as well. I'm feeling a little better, but I'm definitely starting to feel a little burnt out, man. 2 pieces of content a day. On occasion, I've made, like, some days have been 3, but mostly 2. For every day for almost 6 months. Oh, God. Like, if it was my only job, whoop-de-doo-dah, but actually have a real job. So it's like, wow, it's a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work. Not so much by itself, but you combine it with other work, and yeah. It's not the only thing you do. It really, really adds up, adds on, and becomes difficult. Okay, I think I'm going to get into the first segment. For those of you who are new to the channel, new to my live stream, it's very simple. When I'm doing content, I don't generally look at comments. I might during this segment, I don't know. But if I don't worry. Whenever I'm done doing commentary on whatever bit, whatever I'm discussing, I will get to your comments after. So I scroll back to where I left off in the comments, and then I continue from there. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm just somewhere else. And that's my process. So give me a break. All right. If you're wondering what I'm chewing, it's a nicotine gum. Okay, we're good to go. So hello all and welcome, and it is I, the Realist Philosopher, and this is the Realist Philosopher Show. So how y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing good, fine, and well. I'm doing okay, I'm doing all right. So, I am going to be doing a... Okay, first of all, I have to move some stuff around, so be patient. Yeah. So I am going to be doing a thorough Styxhexenhammer666 search. Oh, baby. So my last show, I did a kind of last-minute impromptu search. I wasn't really prepared. This time, this show, I'm going to do a much more in-depth, deep dive search into this guy. If you're wondering why my face is so close to the computer screen, it's the cam. It's because I'm leaning forward and using my keyboard, which I don't usually do when I'm streaming, but it's kind of a necessity for this particular activity. So let's see if we can find Styxhexenhammer666. So first thing I'm going to do is open National Unaliving Records Search. We're going to see if Styx is still in the realm of the living. Okay, so this is for Vermont. We're starting with Vermont. We're going to search there, see if he's kicked the bucket there. I know this seems morbid, but what do you want? It's just life, baby. Or, in this case, non-life. Tarl Warwick. Is he unalived or not? He is a man. Let's do a search. Has he passed on in Vermont? There must be a year of death. Well, of course, 2026. And search. No records are found that match the data you provided. So if Tarl Warwick had passed in this year of our Lord, 2026, well, it would be right here. If he had passed in Vermont. Let's take a look at New York. Let's see if Styxy Boy has passed on in New York City. Ah, that's the one I want. Oh, I don't want to order. What do you mean order? What are you talking about? I'm not paying you guys nothing. Ah, this is stupid. Let me see here. Oh, I see. Okay. Ah, here we go. Wrong site. Let's see here. Ah, very good. No, that's not it. What do we got next here? Okay, that's a no. Okay, he hasn't unalived in New York City. Okay, and that includes Brooklyn. So let's check. Oh, no, I'm not going to check. Don't want to check Louisiana. We'll wait for Louisiana, okay? The only reason he'd be there is if he was arrested. And then maybe he passed on after being arrested. Let's check New York. Arrests. Yep. Okay, let's see what we got here. Yes, I'm much more prepared. I have a whole bunch of links, basically. First name, Tarl. Last name, Warwick. Oh, boy. What a strange name. No records, okay? Well, that is NewYorkCity.gov. Let's get a little more granular here. Yeah. Oh, that was arrests, excuse me. Now we're looking for specifically in Brooklyn. I'm searching for an offender located in New York who is named Tarl Warwick. Okay, let's see where this guy is. Is he specifically in a Brooklyn jail? Let's see. No, I'm not a robot. Please search. No results found. Okay. Interesting. So no sticks there. Let's try another. I'm going deep, baby. Deep diving. All right, now this is find an arrested person. I could call 311, but they would ask for my name, and I'm not going to dox myself to you guys. So there is actually a number you can call. You can talk to an actual person and probably get more data, but again, I'm not doxing myself to you people just so I can get more thorough in searching for this pirate goofball. Okay, no results. So Styx has not been arrested in New York. Interesting. Okay, let's go wider. Gotta go wider, baby. Louisiana. Okay, so as for Louisiana, different states, there's different levels in regards to availability of information. I couldn't search. You can't search unallied records, records of somebody who has passed are not readily available. You have to be like family to get that information. So unfortunately, I could not look for that. But I don't think he would have went to Louisiana unless he was, taken into custody. Fortunately, those records are public records. So let's take a look, shall we? Are you in Louisiana, Styx? Are you in the tombs of New Orleans, baby? Arrests. All right, let's check arrests for Louisiana. Yep. Give me a sec here. Yep, there it is. All right, it's making me choose the state here. Full name of person taken into custody. If he was taken into custody, use original. Tarl Warwick. Continue. City? All right, let's try New Orleans. Yep, let's get a little more specific. And that is a no. Okay. Well, let's get a little more specific and do an inmate lookup. Yeah, this information's available publicly, but if somebody has passed, that's not available in Louisiana. Very, very interesting there. I don't get the logic of that, but okay, whatever. Now we're going to check inmates. Warwick. Tarl. Let's see. Nothing. Recent. What do we got? No Tarl. Okay. Well, he's not in custody in Louisiana. All right. He's not in custody in New York. But there's more. Vermont time, baby. So, in addition, New York, no, there's not a warrant for him in New York, but that's where he's been staying. There are 2 warrants out for him, though, one in Vermont and an extradition warrant out of Louisiana. So if he was caught in New York, the New York police have to take him into custody, and then he would be extradited. So, but he could have returned, but he's not in Louisiana. He might have returned to Vermont. And if he returned to Vermont, it's Possible he would be picked up. Maybe a nosy neighbor that doesn't like him. Yeah, imagine that. Somebody not liking Styx who lives close to him. Yeah, that'd be a big shocker. Might have seen the, dastardly pirate return home and call the cops. So he could be in custody in Vermont. Let's see. All right, let's check Vermont court records. And, ooh, wow, that's a long list. Yes, I'm scanning dozens of court filings in the past several weeks while I'm talking. Yes, I can multitask and read very fast. No Styx. Okay. Let us check. Yes, let us check Vine link. Yes. All right, we're going to do an arrest search now for Vermont. Searching for an offender in Vermont. Name, Tarl. Who chose this name? By the way, does anybody out there know what country this name is? Ay. I'm not a robot. No. Search for me, baby. No results. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, let's continue. Oh, that's it. All right. So he's not in custody, folks. He's not in custody. He's not in custody in New York. I checked Rikers records. I checked the tombs there. I checked Brooklyn specifically, New York City, and then New York State. I checked Louisiana. Then I checked specifically New Orleans. I checked court cases there. He hasn't been taken into custody or extradited back to there from New York City. I checked Brooklyn specifically for arrest records. In addition, I checked Rutland Sheriff's Department, PD, no records of Styx being taken into custody. So this guy is dropped off the face of the earth. So what are the possibilities? Now, he could be in the hospital. We do know that this guy looks like walking unalive. He looks like, well, kind of like the Crypt Keeper, yo. Like if the Crypt Keeper, got together with Charles Manson and they had a baby, all right? So we know his health is not very good. So this guy could be hospitalized or in rehab. Those records are not publicly available. If I wanted to find this guy, even if I called individual hospitals, they wouldn't necessarily provide the information to some rando dude, okay? So that's one possibility that I can't really effectively explore. It's just not practical. Too many hospitals, too many variables, and there's privacy laws that in a lot of cases would prohibit them from releasing that kind of information. So he could be hospitalized. That's not really outside the realms of possibility, considering the garbage health that this guy is in. So that's one possibility. Another is rehab. I dismiss this. I do not think Styx would ever go to rehab in a million, billion, quintillion years. He's too proud. He's too arrogant. His pride will not allow him to admit that he's got a problem. So I don't think he'd ever go to rehab unless it was court ordered, okay? I don't think it would ever happen. Now, some people told me he could have left the country. Realist? What if he left the country? Could have went to Canada. No. Styx has an extradition warrant out for him. That includes TSA. When you have an extradition warrant out for you, a no bond extradition warrant, TSA and every police department, both local, city, state, in all 50 states, including TSA, have access to your information. If you try to take a flight, it pops up. Doesn't matter whether it's national or international. It doesn't have to be the type of flight. Well, okay, now, no, because you still, if it's international, you have to provide a passport. I suppose it's possible that nationally you can have a ticket and go through security. and they just wand you, or you go through the metal detector and maybe it wouldn't come up. Actually, that wouldn't surprise me considering we're talking about the government and how inefficient they are. But if he wanted to leave the country, if he had to use his passport, it most definitely will pop up. I don't know if it would pop up nationally. I don't know that they do as deep, as thorough records check on people traveling within the country. Where else is this guy going, right? But he can't travel internationally. He cannot. Not with an extradition warrant. You got an extradition warrant out for you. TSA will get pinged if you try to use your passport. So he ain't leaving the country, all right? He hasn't. Now, could he have went somewhere else? Yeah. But, I mean, this guy's in pretty bad shape, yo. That said, there do seem to be a lot of desperate women out there who are attracted to this guy for whatever reason. He's got the Charles Manson effect, man. He's got the Manson lamps going on. He's got the pseudo-intellectual charisma, magnetism going on. So I suppose it's possible there could be a female groupie out there of his that we don't know about that maybe he moved in with. Sure, that's possible. I don't know where he'd get the cash. Dude ain't making no money. Maybe mommy and daddy helped him out there. Western Union him some money. I don't know about that. Pure speculation there. I think the most likely possibility, I think there's a couple. Number one, he could have returned to mom and dad in Rutland. Okay? He could have just returned to Rutland. Potato and Potato's parents, especially if they're living with Potato, probably gotten fed up with this guy. Probably told him, hey, buddy, get the hell out of here. We're going to call the cops. Yeah, you might have established residency, but we know there's an extradition warrant out for you. So if the cops come to the house, they're going to arrest you. So get out. And take your frozen cat popsicle with you. You tried to use the grift. $3,000 out of people. So you can dig a hole and bury it in said hole in a shoebox, which is what he probably already did. Probably was just using the cat to try to grift $3,000. This guy. Oh, man. So I think that that's one of the most likely outcomes is he probably returned to Rutland. Went back, mom and dad. He hasn't been posting content because he knows that everybody that watches him will recognize the background in that video. And they'll know where he is. And then somebody will call the cops on him because a lot of people don't like this guy. That seems one of the most plausible outcomes to me. The other, he's still in Brooklyn. I think these two are equally plausible. Either he returned to Rutland with mommy and daddy, or he's still in Brooklyn. And he's just not posting content because he's given up. He's given up. The A-loggers have defeated him. The guy that never backs down, doesn't give up, has given up. He's just given up. I quit. I give up. I can't deal with the criticism no more. Even though, I marketed myself as this thick-skinned stoic for 16, 18 years, but now I'm giving up. I can't handle the criticism anymore. Of course, he's not getting any money anymore. He's making, the big giant commie that he actually is. Even he needs some kind of monetary motivation. The big welfare recipient, charity recipient that he is, he's still got to get paid, and he's not getting paid. So where's the motivation? Why keep making content when all that's going to happen is people are going to use it to dunk on me constantly? I'm hardly getting any views anyway. So I might as well just quit. Yeah, I think that's probably the most likely. That and returning to Rutland. I mean, one of those two, in my opinion, is the most likely, considering that he hasn't been arrested. He's not in custody in Louisiana, Vermont, or New York, as far as my searches have shown, and they've been pretty thorough. Yeah, I think that's the case. I really do. I think he's either in Brooklyn or with mama and daddy. And it is possible he could be in the hospital. That's also possible. Somebody told me that Styx once said, if I go more than a month without posting content, or you don't hear from me for a while, I'm gone. I passed. I don't know if that's true, but considering the way the guy looked, I would actually believe that as well. That's a distinct possibility too. That he's in the hospital, you know, on a drip, the drip that he is, maybe in a coma, maybe comatose, maybe just, you know, on the edge of life. But I think he's probably either in Brooklyn or with mommy and daddy. I don't know. But anyway, let me know what you think. We've eliminated a lot of possibilities. He's either hospitalized, still in Brooklyn, or with mom and dad. You know where I stand, but let me know where you think this dude is in the comment section. And please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. Hit that notification bell to be notified of any future content that I might create. Also, if you like the raw RP way I tell it like it is, well, you can support my channel with a super chat. Any amount's greatly appreciated, by the way. You can also join my Patreon, which is a monthly subscription basis. I also have a YouTube monthly support platform that has different tiers. You can check that out by hitting the join button below the video. Or you can send a one-time donation via my Cash App. It's anonymous, and I get 100% of that. You'll find my Cash App ID in the description. Anyhow, on that note, I'm out of here. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day. Take care. All right, so that was a lot deeper dive. I searched a lot more. Give me a sec here. So I searched a lot more databases. Give me a sec. I searched a lot more databases and explored a lot more possibilities. What do I personally think? I think he's just boozed up. I think he's blotto. I think he's passed out drunk every day, and he's given up on life. That's what I think. In my personal opinion, this guy's a weakling. He's a wimp. He's P-whip. He's weak. I mean, well, you know what I think of this guy. So that's personally what I think. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, give me a sec. I got to scroll back to your comments here. Yes, I do get to all comments, guys. For sure. All right. I just have to... I do read all comments, so if there's ever any dead air, it's because I'm finding where I left off before I started my current segment. Based Acid Fox. Let's get on with it. Yeah, is the guy gone or not? Based Acid Fox. I thought it was Biltong, but he's not getting any money from Biltong. The jerky? No. He doesn't have his sponsors anymore. And he doesn't post content anymore. And he doesn't do live streams anymore. So his sponsors aren't paying him anymore. Dre Dark Pyro says, what's up, BP? How you doing, Dre? Bookwormatic. My neighbor George, who owns a farm in upstate New York, gave us a dozen ears of corn. Okay. Well, that's good. I never pass up free food. Well, I mean, I do if I have an autoimmune disorder, so I do if I can't eat it, but... We know Styx don't pass up free food, yo. Or free anything. The guy's a big giant mooch. Colonel Angus. Styx should be an ethics professor at Columbia University. Yeah, he would work very well there. He doesn't believe in objective morality. He would fit in very well at Columbia, yo. Very well indeed. Brother Weaver, surprised Kiwi farmers have not swatted Mel. Oh, swatted? Yeah, but they have doxed her house. Oh, Mel's address is on Kiwi Farms. But you'd have to go through a lot of posts. Those people are evil, man. You shouldn't be doxing people at all. Klashikova, Colonel Angus, or a parenting counselor. Yeah. Dwayne 323. I don't know what that means, Dwayne. Bookwormatic, is he using any aliases? What aliases? Dread Pirate Roberts? What aliases does Styx have, yo? Dwayne, yeah, I checked Rikers Island. I said I already did. Yeah, he's not there. I did a very, very thorough search. I just didn't think it was necessary for me to show it. Unlike Jer, I'm not stupid. I don't show my search bar. I don't show myself using my search bar. I don't show myself browsing the internet because it could actually give away personal info. I don't do that. But while I was talking, I was, either searching through various records that I had already URL'd and going there, or reading through hundreds of court cases. Yeah, I can do that very fast. Unlike Styx, I'm actually intelligent. I'm not a pseudo-intellectual like him. Kimberly Borgensen. Maybe he's out at night stalking. It's possible. Dude, well, wait. No, Styx can't night stalk. What are you talking about? You seen him? He'd get beat up by a little kid. Dude, like a 12-year-old could beat him up. Come on. He couldn't even overpower an old lady like his father could. Get real. That dude, it does not have the constitution to night stalk, if he ever did. Brother Weaver, I wonder why he does not do live streams no more. Yeah, I don't understand that. Could somebody explain that to me? Let me know in the comments, because when he was living in Vermont, he did live stream. This is, by the way, I don't understand this. Somebody could explain this to me. How could he get super chats while he was live streaming if his channel on YouTube isn't monetized? Could somebody explain that to me? Was he getting donations through a third-party platform? That must have been the case, because you can't get super chats if your channel isn't monetized, I don't think. So, yeah, he must have been using some kind of third-party to get donations. But why doesn't he do them anymore? Yeah, I mean, it's not like it leads to any kind of elevated risk of him getting caught. I mean, first of all, ain't nobody looking for this guy. I mean, I'm looking, but I'm not, like, hacking the internet and, backtracking his freaking IP address or anything like that. Not that I could. But, I mean, that's very paranoid. By the way, he's posting videos on YouTube as of 3 weeks ago. That's just as trackable. Yeah, why did he stop live streaming? He was at least able to make money off that. I don't know. This guy's psychology, his brain, I don't know how it works, man. If it even works at all. It makes no sense to me. Lukey World. What would be the legal implications of dragging Tarl out of Mel's and surrendering him to the police? Well, there would be legal implications, dude. So, the only way you could do that is if there was, like, bail. Like, if there was if he had been released on bail or bond, would that work on bond as well? I don't think so. Because bail bondsmen work for, people that provide bail services. But, like, if there was bail and you were somebody seeking somebody that had jumped bail, and you were like a licensed bounty hunter, then you could go there and get him, right, without legal repercussions. But he's not in that particular situation, so you probably would get charged with, like, kidnapping or something, too. Yeah, don't do that. Tarl is not worth a long federal, beef, man. Don't do that. Colonel Angus, from Vermont, Styx could have staggered into Canada looking for shrooms. I mean, you could walk across the border, but where would he stay? By the way, Styx isn't hiking anywhere. Have you seen this guy? He's virtually near catatonic. He's a vegetable man. He's a stick man. Styx is a stick. This dude couldn't walk a mile before he collapsed, okay? He's not hiking across the border of Canada, yo. He ain't hiking nowhere. Are you kidding? Get out of here. This guy's having to Uber and Lyft. Probably needs a wheelchair to get around at this point. He's probably wearing Depends, man. Dude's wearing adult diapers at this point, man. Dude, this guy's got lots of functional limitations, man. He can't hike anywhere. He's not healthy. I'm in better shape than this guy. I'm like 20 years older. What are you talking about? No, man. That's not happening, okay? No way. Lukey World. Warwick is Anglo. Okay, there's a county in England called Warwickshire. Oh, okay. The more you know. Colonel Angus, I hope he's in rehab and it works out for him. But there's no rehab for this guy. Styxhexenhammer666 ain't going to rehab, yo. He's too proud. He's in denial. This guy, yo. Man. Styx is a pride machine. He's virtually suffering from all of the, like, 7 deadly sins, man. Are you kidding? This guy's pride is, like, the size of Mount Everest. He will never willingly go to rehab. It'll never happen. Never. You kidding? Dwayne323, like DB Cooper. He ain't got the money to disappear like DB Cooper. How much money did DB Cooper get away with, by the way? I don't know. I mean, at the time, it was a lot of money. Wasn't that in the 70s or something? Styx ain't got DB Cooper money, okay? CJ says, haha, Styx boy's gone forever. RIP. Yeah. Comic stuff says Stola's gonna fly in there. That'll be a big freaking owl, yo. Colonel Angus, you can stagger into Canada with no problems looking for shrooms. Experienced it myself. Yeah, but you'll be in the middle of nowhere in the wilderness, man. Yeah, you can just walk across the border. Okay. But dude, Styx's health is atrocious. He's not staggering anywhere. Mean Gene, extra mean green olives without pimento or terrorism. Oh, that's his last tweet. Yeah, that which is like August 8th was his last tweet. Talking about green olives without pimento. Yeah. Mean Gene, extra mean. I bet he's in the hospital. He's turned into dust. That's a distinct possibility. Again, I can't check hospital records. That information is largely private. I'm sorry. I love you guys. But I'm not dialing up. I'm not dialing up all of the hospitals in, 7 boroughs in friggin' New York or even in Brooklyn, whatever. I'm not doing it. I love you, but I don't get paid that well from this channel, okay? I make barely nothing, all right? That's a little too much work. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry, okay? I could do that, but I'm not going to. And even then, I don't know that they would provide me the information because I'm just some rando dude, all right? So, no. But you are right, Minji. That is a distinct possibility, considering how bad his health is. CJ says he's nothing more than a frizzy-haired 80-year-old now. No beaches, want his pencil stick. Kimberly Borgenson, I'm surprised he lasted this long in Brooklyn, knowing his history with violence and drinking. Yeah. It's actually kind of a testament to his adaptability. I mean, I'll give him that, but how adaptable is he really? I mean, actually, that's just playing to his strengths. He's a moocher. He's a couch surfer. He's a mimbo. He's a midwit. I mean, sleeping on the floor of a laundry room and not having to do anything all day, seems to fit his character pretty well. He might have found his niche in life. Living with a potato, yo. Although then again, him not getting violent with the potato, that's pretty, that's pretty impressive. That just shows he can control himself when he wants to, right? Yeah. Brother Weaver, well, if he is in a hospital, it's not voluntary. It was for a medical emergency. That, of course, obviously. But I was talking about rehab specifically. I mean, if he's in a hospital, the dude, he wouldn't willingly go, I don't think. He'd have had to have a medical episode or something. And then the potato would have called the ambulance. 911, yeah. Which would, of course, alert the cops, and then they would know he had a warrant. And then after he got out of the hospital, he'd be taken into custody, but he hasn't yet. So either he's in the hospital, still at the potatoes, or he's back in Rutland with mommy and daddy, Night Stalker. CJ, liver failing in a rundown hospice somewhere for people with no money. That is a distinct possibility. That is a distinct possibility, man. I mean, that could be. And I acknowledge that. For sure. Lukey World. I think he gave Mel a shiner and is on the run. Or forced it to rehab. Maybe. But he wouldn't go straight to any rehab. He would have been extradited, okay? If he assaulted the potato, the cops would have been called, and he would have been taken into custody, put into the tombs of Rikers. He would have been, brought up to see a judge in New York. They would have found out about his warrant, and then they would have shipped him to Vermont, okay? After he stood charges in New York, which again would mean he would show up in the searches I did, okay? And I searched both Louisiana, Brooklyn, New York, Rutland, Vermont. I not only searched on a city level, but a state level as well. And a municipal level. So he's still on the lam or in the hospital. Right. So, yeah. Although I would think that if the potato call for emergency services, wouldn't you have called 911? And not only an ambulance would have shown up, but the cops as well? Unless you just called the hospital. And then it would have just been an ambulance. Because if cops showed up, they would have ID'd him and he would have been into custody the moment he got out of the hospital. So that could still be incoming, yo. He could be lying in a hospital right now, and once he, is out of danger, get taken into custody immediately. That is a distinct possibility. Mean Gene, extra mean, he is going to end up like Gothic King Cobra. That's a distinct possibility. Dylan Roger. But couldn't he just do his videos in another room in Rutland and no one would be able to tell? He's not that smart. Dude ain't that sophisticated. What? By the way, we've probably seen every room in his house, right? Where else is he going to go that we haven't seen? I don't know, man. I guess it's possible, but he's got a warrant out for him in Vermont. I think he would be afraid. Like, at least if he's in New York City, there's no warrants for him there. So it's not as high a priority to take him into custody in New York as it would be in a state where he's got a warrant out for him. So I guess he's probably paranoid about that and thinking that, hey, okay, I better not stream or make videos in Vermont because they'll definitely get me then. This guy, who knows who knows what's going on in his head? It's not rationality, that's for sure. This is a guy that believes in demon owls and demon wolves and... Come on, man. You're attributing rationale and reason to this guy, okay? You're thinking like a normal person. He ain't normal. Kalashnikov, I hope Nikki took him back. Oh, that's a possibility. Whoa! She went to, August 4th, I think. She went to a concert in New York City. I totally forgot about that. I remember I did a video because she posts chronically on Facebook. And this, broke, convenience store worker went to a concert. She blew $3,000 of money donated to her in charity on an apartment that she gave up after 2 weeks so she could have more money for pot. Meanwhile, she's blowing money on extravagant trips to New York City to go to concerts. She might have went to see Styx. She knew where he lived. Those Kiwi farmer scumbags, they doxed Mel's location. The address is all over Kiwi Farm, so she would know where Styx is, and she's got a car. She might have went to see Styx. They could be back together. I totally forgot that one. He could be living with her right now. Her and that goofball simp dude that let Nikki stay with him. That's a possibility for sure, yo. Oh, my God. I hadn't thought about that. That's a distinct possibility. We know she's still in love with Styx. We know she's not banging the dude she moved in with. I mean, she admitted that herself. Big giant simp. Letting her move in and he ain't getting no nookie. That's very possible. It's very possible, guys. CJ's laughing. Yeah. His true self is a wimpy coward. Absolutely. Probably why he does the pirate LARP. Makes him feel tough. Right? He thinks it makes him look tough. Being dressed like a pirate. Yeah. Lukey World. I've been a Styx hater for years. He uses Lolbertism as a reason to hold no principles? Yeah. Yeah. He is one of the most unprincipled people I've ever seen. Like the courage of his convictions. What convictions? He has none. Michael Alboras. I suspect at one point he was on the payroll of a right side NGO. That's quite possible. How else could someone not monetize their channel and post 3 to 5 vids a day? Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point. Where was the money coming from? Would all come from Biltong. It might be some good jerky. I don't know, but it ain't that good. He wouldn't make it that much. That's a distinct possibility, man. Although at one point he was getting a lot of super chats. I don't know how. Again, he must have had a third-party vendor. Because if your channel's not monetized, I don't think you can get super chats. Yeah, you can't because there's no bank information. No, you can't get super chats if your channel isn't monetized. How the hell is this guy? Yeah, how did he make... there's some... he must have had a third-party vendor. I don't know. Stripe? Kalashnikov Styx would be a leftist, but that would hold him to some kind of morals, even if twisted. Yeah. And he wouldn't be able to grift off the right wing. You know, the people who actually have money. Leftists and libtards, by and large, they're working as baristas and dishwashers, yo. They ain't got no money. That's why they're all commies. They want to steal your money. John T9. There's a good video from months ago where Styx says he achieved everything and he's bored. What? Dude, send me the link. My email is in the description. Send me the link to that video, or at the very least the title. I gotta review that. He's bored because he's accomplished everything? Except being a good dad, a good father. When I had a kid, I passed on my genes. So I guess it's game over. Oh yeah, pal. You splooged in abroad. Wow. You've achieved so much. CJ548. He's never accomplished anything or did anything cool or fun. Yeah, he's so boring. He's a legend in his own mind. CJ548. I'm surprised he could even drive a car. He can't. But he can't drive a car, yo. That dude gave what? He had like a Toyota Avalon or something, and he gave it away to Samantha Keister because he was too afraid to drive. The guy's literally got like the worst anxiety you've ever seen. Got Agora. Whatever anxiety there is, he's got it. Okay? Lukey World. Styx's night stalking involves crawling through the sewer, chewing on discarded chicken bones. Lock the bounty hunter. Hey, Lock, how you doing, baby? He's too drunk to figure out how to live stream. Yeah. It just makes no sense to me. It's like the one way you can make money. Like on a consistent basis. It's not like he's afraid they're going to track him down through his IP address. He was posting videos as of 3 weeks ago. Same difference in that regard. Clash Cove, not true. Crack Sparrow fed cat sacrifice to a gay alt. Allegedly. Multi-Drider. I sent him super chats and pass through regular YouTube chat. I think it has to do with the amount of subscribers. What is... really? I don't know. I mean, my channel got monetized back in like 2016, 2017. They got banned. For like 7, 8 years. But I thought that you had to have your channel monetized. Okay. That's interesting. I didn't know that. John T9. Would you ever interview Nikki? Probably. Maybe. She'd never... I don't know. I mean, I might. I don't think she likes me very much. I've been dunking on her for like 8 months, man. I mean, I don't know. I don't think she would... no. She contacted me like back in January, like December of last year, and wanted me to interview her. But I just couldn't, like, in good faith do so because I just had such a poor opinion of her. And I also wanted to dunk on her, so yeah. John T9, would you ever... Yeah, I would interview her, probably at this point, but I don't think she would want to talk to me. Let's be honest. Okay? Let's be honest. This chick would not... no. Senior John, he's too drunk to live stream. Lock the Bounty Hunter. He's pretty much at the rambling hobo phase of his life now. I would agree. I can imagine him sitting outside a New York alleyway with a cardboard box that says, "We'll clank for food." It might get him donations, actually. That might get him some quarters. It's possible. Some beggars can make good money, you know. I see him at the off-ramps when I come home from work all the time. They seem to do pretty good. I don't know. Maybe I should be a beggar. Well, no. I got too much pride for that. I wouldn't do that. I'd rather die. Death time! Brother Weaver, Styx the ultimate anti-hero? No, some anti-heroes are cool. I mean, I guess you could be an... What do you mean anti-hero? No, man. It's like saying he's the ultimate rebel. Steve B, I miss Styx. As do I. His cringe-worthy takes are the highlight of my day. Well, dunking on them. That is. John T9, there are points in Vermont where you can hike to Canada without crossing a man border. Not saying it's easy, but it's possible. Yeah, but, no, you're not wrong. It is possible. Just not for Styx. Because the dude looks like he's slowly heading to the afterlife, and he's so emaciated and weak. Yeah. Steve B, I miss 2020 Styx. Lock the Bounty Hunter. The pirate thing is living proof that he's just an overgrown child, but he thinks the big words make him an adult. Yeah, he's got a verbose vocabulary. Whoopity-doo-dah, pal. Yeah, you're a walking dictionary, walking thesaurus. Big deal. Who cares? Nobody cares. It doesn't make you intelligent. Multi-Drider. I wonder if Styx plays Sea of Thieves, and that's why he dresses like a pirate. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, pal. Kyle in Exile, he always bragged about... Okay, hold on a second. I gotta... Oh, the message disappeared. Lock the Bounty Hunter. I've seen the I'm Bored video. It reeks of his own farts. Lock the Bounty Hunter. Love the show, dude. But thank you very much, Locke. I appreciate it. Very much. Thank you. Yeah, I've seen some of your content as well, pal. Good stuff, yeah. I don't produce content in that genre anymore, but I did for a long time. So thank you very much. Much appreciated. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. Look, I've already said, I think the most likely possibility is the dude just gave up. The most simple explanation is often the correct one. Are there others that are close to as likely? Sure. He could be in the hospital, which, quite frankly, is probably equally possible. Or he could have returned to Rutland. That would also explain why he's not streaming. But I just think the guy is super demoralized. Look, you got to look at the world from Styx's point of view, okay? The guy has been semi-famous, you know, huffing his own farts, for being a legend in his own mind, people enabling him, telling him how brilliant he is, how on point he is, how brilliant his takes are, for like a decade and a half now. People have been gargling this guy's ball, sack for ages. He hasn't really had to experience all that much pushback, criticism until recently. I mean, yeah, fat man, a little cokehead, dunking on him here and there because he was on Jer's show, but Jer's their main target. They don't talk very much about Styx. I'm really the only one still talking about this guy for the most part, by and large. But he really hasn't had to face that much pushback until very recently. And so he's not used to it. He didn't know how to deal with it. Doesn't know how to deal with it. He's like, what? I'm a genius. Why is everybody clapping back so much? I'm so brilliant, right? He can't handle the truth that he's really not all that intelligent. Because people have been telling him for 15 years how smart he actually is, which he actually isn't. So he just can't deal with it. I think he's just given up. That's what I think. I think he just woke up one day and said, what's the point? What's the point? I'm not making any money. Just monetize your channel and make passive ad revenue. No. Offer your 12,000 prior videos, but no, can't do that. Or you couldn't just keep making content, right? That's garbage. What do you care if people dunk on you? You're getting paid, right? But no. I have some kind of weird problem with making money off of my labor. But I have no problem accepting charity from potatoes and their parents who have no familial links to me at all. Oh, that makes a lot of sense, Styx. Yeah, that's brilliant, pal. Yeah, that's just amazing logic. There's something wrong with monetizing my channel, but there's nothing wrong with being a charity case by choice. It's not like any of this is no fault of his own. This guy is a schlub layabout, couch surfing loser of his own volition. But he's okay with that. And he's okay with charity, too. Mommy and daddy can support me. Potato can support me. But I don't have to support myself. God forbid I do that. Oh, this guy, man. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's just a gift that keeps on giving. But, and maybe that's part of it, too. Like, you know, in some weird way, he thinks he's depriving people like me of material to use to make content. But, dude, you got like a whole catalog of crap. I could spend years dunking on you. You posted like 12,000 videos, man. I mean, I don't need recent content. I can dunk on your old takes, dude, just as well. And people are so starved to see you get dunked on because they hate you so much that they'll watch. So I don't know what you think you've accomplished. You've accomplished nothing. You haven't deprived me of anything. By the way, some other LOLCOWS out there I can talk about as well. You're not the only one, man. You're not the only fish in the sea, buddy. So the only person depriving is you, you pinhead. He don't get it. What a dope. This is dope. Little petty, vindictive goober that he is. Oh, I'm the deprived realist of content. And you know he cares, right? We've seen this guy show up 4 or 5 times in my live stream chat trying to troll me. Big wuss. So you obviously care, Styx. So you might as well just produce content, give your life some meaning, right? Because, you know, you don't back down, right? Yeah. Except he does. So that's what I think happened. I think he's given up. Probably been on a month-long bender at this point. Maybe he's in liver failure in the hospital. Maybe. Maybe he's back in Rutland with Night Stalker and, you know, Fry Cook Mommy. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah. But anyway, John says, just YouTube search Styxhexenhammer666. I have nothing left to prove, and I'm bored. Well, I can remember that, I guess. Lock the Bounty Hunter, appreciate it. Hardenberg. Have you seen the movie Drag Me to H-E double hockey sticks? Baby Charles was cursed by a gypsy. John says Styx is probably watching right now. That would be great if he was. I would like that. I know he watches my content on occasion. Maybe he gets a kick out of it. I don't know. Maybe he has a humiliation fetish like Jeremy Handley. It's possible. It's a distinct possibility. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. Wow. I've got like a lot of I got a lot of research here for that stick stuff, by the way. I must have like, yeah, like 12.5 sources that I used here to search for this guy. He is not in any databases in New York, Vermont, or Louisiana. So he's still on the lam. He's still on the lam. I know that at the very least. I'm sure I know more than the people on the accursed Kiwi Farms, which is why I know a lot of you scumbags are watching right now. Lock the Bounty Hunter. He probably bathed himself at the public library if he knew how to bathe. Yeah, libraries are a big draw for the homeless. But no, I think dude, he would not lower himself to that level. He would go back to Rutland and hide out there before he, you know, lowered himself to being a hobo, right? I mean, he's one step above a hobo right now, but he would never go full hobo with, you know, a little scarf baggie on a stick, bumming rides, bumming cigarettes, and thumbing rides. He wouldn't do that. He's too important for that. He's above that, man. Didn't you know that? Styx is too good to be a hobo. He wouldn't lower himself to that level, man. So, no. He went back to mommy and daddy. He's still with the potato. Or he's in the hospital. Those are the three most distinct possibilities. And I think he's probably still with the potato, honestly. Just passed out on the laundry room floor. Or with mom and dad. But let me know what you think, guys, in the comments. And I'm going to move on to the next segment. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I might post both the chat afterwards, as well as our search for Styx as standalone videos on my channel. It's comedy gold. This guy, he thinks he's depriving me of content? Get out of here, buddy. You deprive me of nothing. Dude, I'm not creatively bankrupt like you, Styx. I can actually come up with creative new ways to spin a web of new content. I don't need that much. Unlike you, Styx, I am a master chef when it comes to creativity, creating content. I don't need you to make new content. You've given me a bevy of old crap. And I can make fun of you until the cows come home, buddy. I guarantee it. Anyway, do we want to get to Jeremy Hambley and his grifting poker tournament? Or do we want to get to Styx talking about Satanism improving your life? Or do we want to get to TJ Kirk believes in gods and magic? You know, the guy that used to call himself the amazing atheist. Nothing. The only thing amazing about this guy is his ability to equivocate and be as unfocused and vague and general and non-specific as humanly possible. I'm going to let you guys decide. I'm going to give it a second here. I'm going to review all of it anyway. But since we're talking about Styx for a while, I don't want to do Styx again. I'd rather do something else and then maybe Styx. But you guys let me know. John T9, do you think it's a shocking coincidence that both Styx and Nikki have lost front teeth? I think there's nothing shocking about two bedraggled bums missing teeth. Okay? We're talking about a broad that's like 250 and change who eats gas station food on a consistent basis, who formerly lived in her car and has the most atrocious diet humanly possible. And same goes for Styx, minus the car living, because he's too good for that. Do I think it's a coincidence that these people are missing prominent teeth? No. Well, I think, yeah, it's a coincidence. But I don't think it's a coincidence in regards to how they live their lives. They're both hobos. So, I mean, oh no, that's a real shocker, yo. You know? That hobos are missing some teeth. I'm going to move on to TJ Kirk, since nobody's saying nothing. I got to move the show along. I got to keep it going. I'm going to do a quick sound check here, by the way. You're going to hear some voices. By the way, the reason I have to do this now, I can't find my other set of headphones. I got to search for them. I did. I can't find them. They were much more accurate in regards to telling me how close my microphone volume was to the video volume that I would capture and comment on. So, yeah, I got to find my old headphones. But in the meantime, I got to do a sound check here and see if this is too loud. You guys will let me know, I'm sure. But take a listen, and I have to match this up real quick.
So, today, I'd like to talk about chaos magic, the gods that I believe in. So, today, I'd
This guy's a total complete goofball.
like to talk about chaos magic, the
skeptic that believes in magic. Oh, boy.
gods that I believe in, and to what extent I believe in them.
Yeah, this is goofy stuff, but that should be enough for...
Magic,
Yeah, skeptic that believes in magic. Oh boy.
Gods that I believe in and to what extent I believe in them.
Yeah, this is goofy stuff. But that I gotta turn it up a bit. Yeah. All right, it's a little low. So let me turn it up smidge. And let me replay that and we'll see if it's about right. I'm sure you guys will let me know if it's still too loud on your end or if my speaking and this person speaking are about the same level. So just let me know. Oh, I paused my own video. You just forgive me. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
So today I'd like to talk about.
All right, this sounds a little better. He sounds closer to what I just heard in the sound check I just did.
Chaos magic, the gods that I believe in, and to
now he's not an atheist. Yeah.
What extent I believe in them.
Yeah. Why would you believe in gods in the first place, dude?
So there was a god.
Okay, let me take a listen here. Sound check I just did.
Chaos magic, the gods that I believe in, and to.
This guy is another Styx. Yeah, he's very much like Styx. Yeah. Why would you believe in gods in the first place, dude?
So there was a god.
Okay, let me take a listen here. All right, that sounds about right. Would you say that my microphone and the audio you just heard from the other person are about the same? It sounds about the same. I mean, at least to me. So, yeah, I'm not getting any feedback from you guys, so I got to do another sound check because nobody's telling me if it's good or not.
So today I'd like to talk about chaos magic, the gods that I believe in, and to what extent I believe in them. So there was a guy named Carl Jung who was one of the...
Oh boy. Goofball alert. Major friggin' goofball, this guy.
About chaos magic, the gods that I believe in, and to what extent I believe in them.
Uh-huh. Okay, buddy. Whatever. Uh-oh.
About chaos magic, the gods that I believe in.
Uh-huh. Okay, buddy. All right. Sounds pretty much what I would expect. Let me take another listen.
Groundbreaking. I can't deny that he broke down barriers.
All right. I'm gonna get to it because I can't wait for you guys to give me feedback. All right, let's do this. Screen capture on. Infinity me check. Pretty well centered in the pic, I think. All right. This guy. Nicotine gum in place.
So
ready to go. So hello all and welcome, and it is I, the Realist Philosopher, and this is the Realist Philosopher Show. So how y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing good, fine, and well. So we're back with the former atheist, now pantheonist, TJ Kirk, who believes in gods and magic and chaos magic even. Ooh, and he's here to tell us, I don't know, about the gods he believes in, but he doesn't actually tell us about the gods he believes in. Because this video he's making here is, I believe, a response to my last live stream where he essentially probably watched and saw where I called him out on not making in real-time content, but always needing a script because he's such a poor orator. His speaking skills are terrible without a script. I don't know if he's a good writer or not. I haven't read any of his crap. His ideas are garbage. I think he equivocates way too much. He's way too pedantic, but, you know, and unfocused, vague and general, probably so it can never be called to task because the guy is very, very thin-skinned, easily butthurt, and can't handle criticism. But anyway, in this video, he attempted to freeform it, baby, i.e., go without a script. We're going to see how that works out. Yeah. So let's take a listen.
So today, I'd like to talk about chaos magic, the gods that I believe in, and to what extent I believe in them. So there was a guy named Carl Jung who was
highly overrated, by the way.
Was one of the very early psychologists that came up in the aftermath of Freud's founding of the discipline.
Yeah, psychology is pseudoscience, so people like him love it. They can pass themselves off as experts in a pseudoscience. Yeah, it's akin to phrenology, okay? Studying the bumps on people's heads to tell you about their personality. It's garbage. It's crap.
Now, I'm not a huge fan of Sigmund Freud. I think of him the same way I think of the comic Lenny Bruce.
Wasn't Sigmund Freud a, creatine head?
Like, I can't deny Lenny Bruce was groundbreaking. I can't deny that he broke down barriers. But at the end of the day, he's just not fucking funny. His protege, George Carlin, was funny. I love Carlin.
Wasn't he a professional comedian? I mean, Lenny Bruce got a lot of work, a lot of gigs, right? How many gigs have you gotten as a comedian? Oh, big fat zero?
Carlin. And I think the same is true here with Freud and Jung. Like, Freud was undoubtedly groundbreaking in that he established a framework for talking about the unconscious mind, seriously as something that could be studied.
Yeah, overcomplicating things that are not all that complicated. Got it.
But Jung took that basic insight and went somewhere much more interesting with it.
Did he?
He started treating myth and symbolism and dreams and religion and gods not as these primitive superstitions, but as expressions of deep psychological structures that seem to recur across cultures and throughout human history.
Well, we're all human. I mean, we might be different ethnic groups, different races, as it were, but we can interbreed. So, we're all human beings, so it stands to reason that we would share a lot of the same archetypes, right?
At the start of the game, you can choose any shelter you want, but once you pick a spot, there's no turning back. It's upgrade or D. Defense, stealth, resources.
His work.
I mean, it stands to reason that we would have a lot of the same archetypes, a lot of the same symbology, symbols, because we're all human. Just like wisdom is universal, we share quite a bit in common. So that would be reflected in our symbols and archetypes. But anyway.
Reminds me a bit of Joseph Campbell, the comparative mythologist who became famous for tracing recurring patterns through the myths and stories of wildly different cultures, came up with the monomyth, the hero's journey, which is still a storytelling formula used to this day. And Campbell was heavily influenced by Jung, and both men were fascinated by the idea that these recurring symbols are not just like coincidence, but they reflect something fundamental about the structure of the human mind. Jung called some of these recurring patterns archetypes, and he believed that they emerged from what he termed the collective unconscious, a term
collective unconscious.
Still in use to this day. So to bring the example a bit more down to earth, we could use the example of like the dragon. The dragon is a creature that appears in one form or another in mythologies all across the world, even among cultures that developed with little or no contact with one another.
I think that, okay, first of all, we can't go back in time and really know how much contact there was in between cultures. We do know that there was trade going back thousands of years, okay? That this idea that Chinese were never in contact with people from, say, Italy, from Rome, from other countries is nonsense. There was the Silk Road, there was trade between cultures, across borders, all right? Mythologies were shared. We don't know to what extent. So for him to say, well, they had little or no contact, how do you know? You don't know.
So there's this question of like, why did all...
I mean, yeah, the world was a much bigger place back then. Travel wasn't as easy, but there were a lot of people. They were called merchants. They were called travelers, adventurers who did travel to other places, and they took their culture and mythology and their storytelling with them.
All of these cultures that had no overlap with one another, no...
What do you mean no overlap? Dude, come on. People were overlapping communicating, banging. There were such things as emissaries, and ambassadors, and people were visiting other places, for thousands of years, man.
Contact with one another, all come up with this.
You don't know that. By the way, we know that's not the case, actually. Ancient cultures had contact with one another, all right? To what extent, we don't know, and you don't know either.
Same idea of this giant flying reptilian monster.
Dude, many people have theorized that people in the past dug up bones of dinosaurs, okay? It's not outside the realm of possibility to imagine that somebody found the bones of a flying dinosaur in many different countries, because they would be existent in many different countries, because dinosaurs were all over the place 65 million years ago, including flying lizard ones. They were flying lizards. You never stopped to consider that, did you? No.
There's
never stopped to consider that people's mythology, okay, their myths might have been influenced by the fact that they're digging, that they find the fossils of a long dead flying dinosaur. Oh, it's a dragon. That would explain why they all share similar appearance, why they all have dragons, because they've all, to one extent or another, at one point dug up and found a fossilized flying dinosaur.
There's also some interesting things going on with...
but he's got to go to the most extreme, unlikely explanation. There's some kind of shared collective unconscious that we're all tapping into, blah, blah, blah. Implying that we're somehow all interconnected on an unconscious level. Any evidence for that? No.
The substance DMT. Because it seems as if everyone who goes on a DMT trip encounters the same sorts of entities. And there's even classifications. There are
So people who are taking the same substance, and that substance is interacting with the human brain, and human brains are to a large extent pretty much the same, structurally speaking. Structurally speaking, they then experience similar hallucinations. Right, and what's so profound or interesting about that? What?
Jesters, the machine elves,
Machine elves? What the hell's a machine elf? You talking about Gremlin? I don't know what he's talking about.
insectoid, mantis-like beings, the reptilians, the aliens, the various godlike or feminine entities that recur again and again and again in numerous people's reports. So once again, we're confronted with this question of why.
It always amazes me why people would look for and seek out paranormal or supernatural or mystical or esoteric explanations for things that are pretty easily explained by material, objective reality. It's almost like this guy's trying to escape material, objective reality. And I guess if I had his life, I probably would want to as well.
Why different human beings under similar conditions keep generating variations of the same characters.
Human beings under similar conditions, exposed to similar, if not same substances, are having the same kind of experiences. Yeah. Kind of like if you jump into a volcano, you vaporize. Gee, it's amazing! All the human beings that are leaping into volcanoes are having a similar, same experience of vaporizing. Wow! No. No wow.
Like you would think it would be very hyper-specialized to each individual person.
Why would I think that? Why would you assume that?
And there's different ways.
I would think the opposite.
To solve the
human brain's a human brain. Some people are smarter, some people are dumber, but it's still a human brain. It's still a processor. The same processor. Some are built better than others. Some are more specialized. Genetics play a hand. Some people have a brain structure that's more geared toward one task than another, but ultimately they're human brains. What's so profound or interesting about this?
This problem, there's the psychological approach that Jung developed, wherein We see these recurring figures as manifestations of shared structures buried deep within the human psyche.
Bingo. Duh.
There's also the more mystical interpretation, which
is not a complete nonsense, bunkola.
Is that these entities and archetypes possess some sort of existence independent of us
They don't.
human beings, and that these altered states and these dreams and these rituals and these myths occasionally allow us to perceive them.
That's nonsense. Any evidence for that? No.
And then there's
what makes more sense?
Third possibility, that, and this is the one that kind of interests me the most, which is that maybe the distinction between something being psychologically real and independently real is not so cut and dry as we imagine it to be.
What do you mean psychologically real? Do you mean abstractly, like just exists in our head? But then it would exist in objective reality. What's he talking about?
It's interesting because science will tell us that what we experience on LSD is in some ways closer to accurate perception.
Why would you think that?
Compared to how we normally perceive, because the drug loosens some of the brain's usual filters and predictive constraints, allowing more raw sensory information and unusual.
Is that what it does? Or does it just alter your perceptions and cause you to see things that are not there? Why are you assuming that what you're seeing is real? I remember I had some homeless broad. They used to live by my place. This was like 30 years ago. She talked to a big giant rabbit. She talked to a 6-foot rabbit every day. Should I assume that because she's talking to a 6-foot rabbit that it exists because she's seeing something that I can't? What? What was he talking about?
Usual associations into our conscious awareness. But, you know, the things you see on LSD are fucking outrageous. Like, I've seen entities climbing out of walls.
Yeah, why would you assume that's real? I guarantee you there's nothing climbing out of your wall, pal, okay? Maybe a rat. I don't know where you live.
I've seen civilizations, you know, that exist in the dying embers of a fire.
What?
I've seen people.
What do you think, this is Game of Thrones? What the hell are you talking about? Dude, this is just your subconscious, unconscious, you know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you're having waking dreams when you take this stuff. It alters your perceptions. It doesn't make them more broad or more able to see things that are there, but we can't perceive them without the LSD. Where's your evidence for that? You have no evidence for that. What's he talking about? Wow, this guy, he does not do very well speaking without a script. You should stick to the scripts, buddy.
Will turn into spiders. Like, how could any of that be a more accurate perception of reality?
It's your argument, not mine. You tell me.
Well, maybe it's not really a more accurate perception of reality, but it's a more...
But isn't that just the claim you just made? Oh, you're just postulating. Oh, okay, yeah.
Accurate perception of how the mind interprets reality with all of the...
Wait, it's a more accurate... Wait. Didn't you just contradict yourself?
But it's a more accurate perception of how the mind interprets reality with all...
Wait. So LSD gives you more accurate interpretation of how the mind interprets... What? That sounds circular. What? Wait, what? Oh, boy!
All of the filters and associations and symbols and expectations and all...
Wait, Dude, you're inferring an awful lot. He likes to use these words filters. Where's the evidence that it LSD opens up filters or makes the filters strain less? What? What is the brain, a water filter? What are you talking about, filters? Oh, it's opening up the filters and more information is getting in, you see, and so the rainbow colors you see and the, spiders crawling out of the wall, that's really happening. You just don't see it because your brain's filters are filtering it out. What the hell are you talking about? Are you on something right now, pal?
All the unconscious machinery that, is normally sort of hidden from our awareness.
Ain't nothing hidden from me. I can tap into my unconscious mind, subconscious mind at will, buddy. The conscious mind processes about 11 kilobytes of data per second. You know how much the unconscious mind processes? 11 million kilobytes of data per second. And you know what? I can tap into that whenever I want. You know how I'm able to do it? 50 years of martial training. That's why, okay? And I ain't seeing no spiders crawling out of walls, pal, okay?
Suddenly be.
I don't need no drugs to tap into my unconscious. If you do, well, you know, that's your problem, buddy. If you're seeing spiders coming out of walls, I guarantee you, that ain't real.
Being, you know, very much inside of our awareness. Returning to dragons for a second.
Oh, no.
It's worth noting that even though dragons emerge in many different cultures, the connotation is not the same. Like in Europe.
Because they're different cultures. That's why. The differences in how they're represented and perceived is on a cultural level. But the fact that they share a form and a function, similar, but not always the same, is just because they were finding fossils of dead dinosaurs, yo!
The dragon is an obstacle. It exists to be slain by the hero. It's a monster. Whereas in many East Asian traditions, the dragon is associated with wisdom and fertility and good fortune, rather than...
Where are these gods? I thought he was going to discuss the gods he believes in and why he believes in them. Is he going to get to the point? Is there a point to this? Is he just wandering aimlessly? Is this just like, Styx babble? Like a stream of consciousness? Is that what this is?
It being some kind of monster that has to be destroyed. So even though the recurring image is shared, the meaning attached to that image is radically different.
What do you mean shared? Like on some kind of unconscious level? Like we're all actually in contact with each other, or could be? Like there's some kind of underlying consciousness that we all share? Collective unconscious. There is no such thing. There was no such thing. Sorry.
Depending on what culture is interpreting it.
Oh, well, I could say, okay, well, maybe that's a little too definitive. Let me say, I've seen no evidence of this, and neither have you. This is all confirmation, bunkola bias on your part, all right?
And this sort of reminds me of the often cited fact that the voices heard by schizophrenics in America are...
Well, it's a fact that schizophrenics do hear voices and see big, giant, 6-foot tall rabbits. But so what? The structure of their brain is flawed, okay? What's your point?
Are very different when you compare them to the voices heard by schizophrenics in some other countries. In America, the voices are more likely to be hostile and intrusive and threatening and violent, while
Is there evidence for this? Or is this just his own biases influencing his interpretation of said evidence? I think he's one of these I hate America people.
Studies comparing Americans with people in India and Ghana found that if you are schizophrenic in India or Ghana, you're more likely to experience the voices as sort of helpful and playful and even benevolent.
Yeah, these are different cultures, all right? With different myths, different religions, and different mythoses in regards to the supernatural and the spirit world and spirits and different gods. So, of course, that is going to influence these types of things, right?
The underlying phenomenon is the same.
Yeah, schizophrenia. The difference is explained by the different cultures.
Schizophrenia. But the mind seems to dress the symbolic language provided by the culture around it, right? If you're in American culture, you're steeped in American culture, the voice is violent. If you're in India...
What are you talking about? What is this guy talking about? Okay.
In culture, the voice is benevolent. So, in a way, these symbols of the...
Are schizophrenics even that violent? Aren't schizophrenics generally not violent? I mean, I know there's violent schizophrenics, but I don't know that they're generally overtly violent, even in the West. Are you saying somehow being American makes you more violent? or predisposed to violence. I don't know what his point is here.
Collective unconscious seem to coalesce, but in another way, they seem to diverge pretty wildly. You could take the swastika, for example. Like in many cultures, the swastika is a positive symbol. It's associated with good fortune and prosperity and divinity and like the grand cosmic order and shit. But the Nazis transformed its meaning in the most of the West into something that's sort of inseparable from fascism and genocide and racial bigotry and so on. The shape of the symbol is exactly the same, but the psychic charge.
Psychic charge. This guy sounds like Styxhexenhammer666. Dude, there ain't no psychic charge. The symbol means different things in different places. What happened to your collective unconscious, buddy?
That is attached to the symbol is radically different.
Why? If there's a collective unconscious, if there's some kind of mystical, magical level underlying the conscious mind that we all somehow tap into and are connected through, i.e. collective, wouldn't they all be the same? Well, they would share aspects, but there would be different interpretations based on the culture. Oh, okay.
What am I driving at here? I'm not...
Sounds like a dodge to me. Sounds like a convenient way to explain away the differences that wouldn't exist if there was some kind of collective unconscious, pal. Where's your evidence that this collective unconscious exists? I mean, there would be some differentials, of course, based upon different cultures, different peoples, different ethnicities, different IQs. But wouldn't there be more in common than uncommon? If there was some kind of a collective unconscious tying us all together? I don't know. I don't believe in any collective unconscious, so...
Entirely sure. I just find it fascinating that the human mind seems to generate the same basic symbolic material again and again and again and again and again while
Dude, you're assuming that people in the ancient world did communicate with one another. Across borders, across cultures. People have been trading for thousands of years, yo. They had horses, they had camels, they had their own feet. The wheel's been around for a while, except in Africa. So, dude, I don't know what you're talking about, okay? There were plenty of other ways people communicated across borders, across nations in the past. Plenty of opportunities for them to share their mythos, their mythologies with each other, as well as share their symbols.
Simultaneously reshaping that material according to cultural and individual experiences.
Yeah, so interesting. Somebody shares a symbol and talks about its meaning and the mystical properties of this symbol, what it means, what it represents to them and to somebody from another country, and then they like the symbol, they take it, and then they ascribe their own meanings, their own culture, and then that symbol pops up there after a while, but it has a different meaning, different connotations based on that culture. Wow, no supernatural explanation required.
For a personal example, the Tower in the tarot deck is pretty universally seen as a negative card. But at a meetup, I was gifted this painting here that depicts me as the Tower. And
is that how you see yourself? Oh, boy.
And on one side of me, there is a businessman falling to his death. On the other side, there's a priest falling to his death.
Yeah, that building that is the body needs to be a bit more rotund, buddy.
And this painting changed my personal relationship to the card. So when it comes up in a spread, my interpretation is different.
A spread? This guy's playing around with tarot cards? Oh, boy. Did he go down a similar path as Styxhexenhammer666? Is that why his life is a disaster? Oh, my God. Do you have your own personal Stolos, buddy?
Then the standard interpretation. I now see the card as a symbol of my own destructive power.
Right. It seems like the only way you have employed that destructive power is against your own life.
I think that the human mind can find meaning in pretty much anything. If you choose to become hyper-aware of numbers, then numbers will start to speak to you. If you choose to become hyper-aware of color...
This is what he does. He's like another Styx. He's just defining what is, describing what is. I mean, that's not terribly difficult.
color.
I mean, you can just try to describe things in an overly complicated way to seem intellectual, but at the end of the day, all you're doing is just describing what you see. Not terribly hard.
Will start to speak to you. Pretty much anything you choose to become hyper aware of, or that you become hyper aware of incidentally.
He likes that word, hyper aware.
That thing is going to speak to you.
It's going to speak to you. Okay.
The question is always,
is it going to speak to me before I'm hyper aware? Do I have to be hyper aware before it speaks to me?
Are you the receiver or are you the transmitter?
Am I the receiver or the transmitter? What the hell are you talking about?
In other words, are you discovering meaning that was already there, or are you...
Well, there's no meaning already there. We ascribe the meaning, okay? Okay, buddy.
Projecting meaning onto the world and then experiencing your own projection as if it came from somewhere else.
First of all, projecting, we ascribe meaning. We create the meaning in our own lives. And we give things meaning so that we can interact with them. We define them so we can communicate effectively with one another. But, I mean, they don't have meaning until we ascribe said meaning, right? I don't know what's so hard about this to understand. He seems to have a very hard time understanding very simple things.
And I don't think there's an easy answer to that question.
No, it is very easy. Meaning doesn't exist outside of human minds. There you go. That doesn't mean that the thing that we are ascribing meaning to doesn't exist, but it doesn't have intrinsic meaning, right? Just like it doesn't have intrinsic value, because value judgments are subjective. Meaning is subjective, right? This is really quite simple, buddy. This is very simple stuff.
And I'm not sure there even needs to be, really. If the symbol reliably changes the way you think or feel or act, then at a certain point, the distinction between received meaning and created meaning becomes not only impossible to untangle, but also...
No, it doesn't. What are you talking about? What do you mean received meaning? What are you talking about? Oh, Lord have mercy. Guy. Even if there's something within the internal structures of our brains that perceives something, and another person from 10,000 miles away who's a different culture, right, a completely different environment that they grew up in, if they see it and they kind of perceive a similar kind of meaning, that's still subjective. It's still based on the human mind. It's still based on the human mind. I'm still ascribing meaning as a said thing. Even if I don't realize it, even if it's based upon how my brain is structured, okay? It doesn't matter. It's still ascribed. It's still subjective. It still requires a human mind.
So broadly...
That's all this guy can do is speak broadly. He doesn't want you to be able to hold him to task in regards to pretty much anything, because he can't handle actual criticism. He can't handle being called to task. So he's as non-specific in general as humanly possible.
Superfluous. And really...
Oh, superfluous. Really?
The message should be treated the same way in either case. You know, they should be treated with some degree of consideration and some degree of skepticism.
You don't seem to employ much skepticism. You believe in magic. And gods.
Like, you don't want to be a fool that's just mindlessly obeying symbols that you see in the world, but you also don't want...
What do you mean, mindlessly obeying? I don't obey symbols. What are you talking about? Symbols giving me orders? Really?
Want to discount what you might be seeing because it could be revealing information or emotions that weren't consciously available to you. Like, maybe the universe is talking to you, or maybe...
They are consciously available. See, I'm able to tap into my unconscious at will, so it's all available to me. What's this guy talking about? I know not everybody can do that, but some people can. It takes a lot of time and training, but regardless, I don't need no drugs for that.
You're...
Like this guy.
Talking to yourself. Some buried part of your unconscious is talking through things that it perceives out in the universe. Either way...
It's not some shared unconscious. It's my brain. Okay? Brain. Not brains. There's no shared human consciousness. Okay? There isn't some other plane of existence that is pure thought that we're all somehow tapped into and communicating through on an unconscious level that we don't realize. At least I don't believe there is. I haven't seen any evidence of such, okay?
The sensible response is neither obedience nor dismissal. It's to listen and to interrogate the message and decide.
Dude, the messages you've gotten from all these substances that you've taken is a pretty bad message.
For yourself whether it actually has anything useful to say.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't get your information from substances that alter your mind and obviously damage said mind because you're not able to logic or reason very well.
Returning to Jung, he devised a system for interpreting these recurring symbols through dreams.
Yeah, bad idea. Garbage system.
And myths and personal associations and what he called the archetype. Like, he wasn't interested in creating some rigid, like, dream dictionary or some shit where a snake always means one thing or a tower always means one thing or whatever. The meaning depends on both the broader symbolic tradition and the culture, and it also the individual's personal relationship to the image. Like, a snake means something different to a person who loves snakes versus a person who is scared of snakes, for example.
You just answered your own question. And how simple it is. It means something different to different people. Right. It's based on their minds. The meaning.
Example. And I don't really know what I want to leave you with here. I suppose that if you take anything from this video, it should just be that you got to make your relationship to these symbols in your life conscious so that they don't simply operate on you from the shadows without ever entering your awareness.
Dude, I don't think about this crap. I live my life. I live in the here and now, in the moment. I don't think about any of this garbage because it's garbage and it's a waste of life. You are wasting your life pondering this crap. It's a waste of life. It's a waste of time. You're still able to grift some money off this garbage by convincing people that you're somehow intellectual, which you ain't. Pseudo-intellectual at best, about on par with Styxhexenhammer666. But this is a waste of life.
The symbols are going to affect you whether you acknowledge them or not, because human beings are pattern-seeking and meaning-making creatures, and we are constantly interpreting the world through associations that we oftentimes don't really bring ourselves to an understanding of.
No, I do, because I'm self-aware, unlike you, pal.
And chaos magic, at least as I practice it, is partly about dragging those associations into the light and
chaos magic. Yeah. Chaos magic. Yeah, he practices chaos magic. Magic is affecting change in material objective reality in conformity with will. And not using your digits like thought pressure, yo. And shaping said will, sometimes with spells or the mind, through visualization, and being careful not to have a hidden intent that can creep into your application of said will. What a bunch of nonsense. I'm supposed to take you seriously when you talk about practicing magic? Get the hell out of here.
Deciding which ones
you goofball
you want to strengthen, which ones you want to rewrite, which ones you want to discard. But I guess that's about all for today. Thank you.
What happened to the gods? This guy didn't say. So I made a video talking about how he doesn't script stuff. He got butthurt. He made this video to prove he can make videos just on the fly without scripting. No, you can't. Dude, you need to go back to writing scripts because you are a terrible public speaker. Your oratory and rhetorical skills are garbage. Stick to writing scripts. Where the hell are these gods? You unfocused schlub. You didn't talk about any gods at all. But that's the title of the video. The gods I believe in. Where are they? What, you didn't talk about them at all.
You for your attention.
Which you don't possess yourself.
I know this is a little bit, I don't know, it didn't really coalesce into a cogent point at any point.
Yeah, you're terminally TikTok-brained, pal.
But sometimes I think that it's just interesting to ruminate on these little interesting...
A verbal diarrhea stream of consciousness, a Styxhexenhammer666 type babble. Yeah.
Observations. And I hope...
Observations. I'm just describing some stuff, making a lot of stuff up.
Hope you agree.
Oh, collective unconscious, dragons was all over the world. Everybody had some conceptualization of a dragon, so, whoa, collective unconscious. No. It's much more simple, materialistic, objective, down-to-earth explanations for all this crap. But for some reason, you jump to mystical, magical, supernatural explanations. Gotcha. Goofball this guy is. So there you go. There you go. The latest piece of content from TJ Kirk, also known as formerly the Amazing Atheist, who now believes in magic and gods, but at one time grifted off of the skeptic community, which, was he faking that? Or is this guy just, does he have like no foundation, no center of self, no identity? He's just bebopping, ping-ponging all over the place. I don't know, man. Wow, that was bad. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments section. And please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. Hit that notification bell to be notified of any future content that I might create. Also, if you'd like to support my continued content creation, you can leave a super chat. Any amount is greatly appreciated. It really would help me out, make me able to continue creating content. Also, you can join my Patreon to support me on a monthly basis. You choose the amount, obviously. Or you can join my YouTube channel as a subscribing member by hitting the join button below the video. And also, if you'd like just make a one-time donation, you can use my Cash App ID in the description. Totally anonymous, and I got 100% of that. Anyway, on that note, I'm out of here. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day. And take care. Chaos magic. The only thing that was chaos was this video. Talk about being all over the place, dude. The hell was that? Yikes. That was... Oh, wow. That was bad. That was bad. Dude, do not try to make any more unscripted content, yo. That was really, really horrible. Kimberly Borgenson and other Styx. Steve B, I just watched the Styx arrest video. That dude is tall and skinny. Yeah. Kimberly Borgenson. I want him and Styx to have a debate. That'd be awesome. Styx and this guy? The not so amazing atheist? Yeah. Well, it would be interesting for sure, Steve. Kimberly Borgenson, I call that hallucinating. Yeah. Well, he thinks the hallucinations are somehow some kind of extra perceptual ability, like you're perceiving things that are there because of the dope. I mean, why would you assume that? Crazy stuff. All right, let's move on to the Jeremy Hambley segment, and then we'll do Styx last. I have to open up some tabs here, so give me a sec. This guy, Jeremy, he's got like a new grift. He's doing like a poker thing. Now he's associated with gambling websites. Jeez. I thought coffee was going to make you a fortune share. I guess not. I guess the coffee isn't bringing the money in like he hoped. Yeah. I guess getting on Walmart's website isn't bringing him the wealth prosperity that he so dreamed of. So now he's got to go into gambling. You know, I think this stuff is illegal in Wisconsin. I don't know if he can legally do this stuff, man. I mean, maybe online, maybe because the the location is in the interweb. I don't know, but he's doing it in Wisconsin, right? I think this stuff's illegal in Wisconsin. I don't know. I'm not sure, man. It's hard to say, but this seems desperate to me, man. Seems very desperate. But anyway, let's let's get to this. All right, screen capture. Check. That's good enough, yeah. Check. There we go. F11. Good. Begin. So hello all and welcome. It is I, the Realist Philosopher, and this is the Realist Philosopher Show. So we're back with Jeremy Hambley, also known as Quartering, Ham Planet, Ham Haunch Eater, Quarter Pounder, Quarter Tunner is more like it, Cleaner Outer of White Castles, and he is here to let us know about a new grift he has going. Something about a poker tournament? Let's take a look here. From Jeremy Hambley, this could be really cool. What are you, 12? This could be really cool, guys. Let's go jump our dirt bikes. Trying to get a head count. So go to the webpage and sign up if you're interested. Aiming for 2 to 3 weeks from now on a Friday or a Sunday. TheQuarteringGot.com Poker. Free online poker tournament. What? Online poker? How the hell do you play poker online? Is it like... Is it like electronic poker? Is that how it works? Oh, joy. The prize pool is $1,000. Well, how much do you have to put into the pot? How much do you have to pay to sign up? Is it like $100 to play or something? I don't know. Limited spots. Sign up now. I don't think so, pal. I think I'm going to pass. By the way, is he going to be playing? Is the Quartering going to be playing? Or is he just hosting it for some gambling website? I don't know. Very strange. Anyway, from the Kino Grove, the Quartering has awoken and is hiding comments calling him a scammer and poker dropshipper. If they think about it, Jer is working with some organization behind the scenes to host it, so he's literally white labeling an online casino. Mm-hmm. So, the Quartering, who at one point said he was leaving Twitter because it was toxic, what was it, going a week? Now he's terminally online again, but he's blocking people. Here's some of the hidden comments. This should be amusing. From Bob Kausk. Honestly, all the stupid stuff you've done in the last few months, I wouldn't be surprised at all if you were just scamming people. That's what I honestly think this is. It's just a big scam like your coffee company. Well, I wouldn't say his coffee company's a scam. I mean, he definitely has lied a lot in regards to the coffee company, in my opinion. He's actually admitted it by telling us that he doesn't roast his own beans. He doesn't make his own K-Cups. He was going to buy a K-Cup machine. He didn't buy the K-Cup machine. So he has provably lied quite a bit by his own words. I don't know if that makes it a scam, though. I mean, there is actual coffee. So you can buy it. It's overpriced. All you do is lie. So don't expect people to believe you now. From Massive Lag, is the poker tournament drop ship too? Extremely unhinged. Have you tried like calling some friends and organizing a house game? Or is it the internet that matters most? Got to make content, huh, guy? I don't know. Is he going to make content out of this poker tournament? Just a bunch of random faceless people playing electronic poker? Could you make content out of that? I mean, wouldn't it be extremely boring? Well, it is the Quartering. So, from Jim Cracker. Honestly, though, when one of the internet's most notorious scammers announces an email sign-up tournament, you can't blame people for assuming the worst. Indeed. I don't know. I don't know that it's a scam. I'm sure there's like a pot. I'm sure that the $1,000 prize is real, but I mean, this is very strange. I don't understand why he's doing this. Well, I mean, other than money, right? Which he's desperately in need of. From the Kino Grove, it's backed up by the biggest name in online poker. Well, who? Can you tell us who? Why wouldn't you tell us who's sponsoring it, Jer? I don't get it. It's not a scam. The Quartering is giving more info on his upcoming poker tournament. I reached out to all the big poker sites. I'm a big creator. Oh, geez. I make no money. You're not going to make money off this? I don't believe that. Who believes that? Why would he do it then? This guy, all he cares about is money. What does Jer and the gambling site get out of this? Jer's made $50K from the site. Who? Online poker is illegal in Wisconsin. Well, I don't, okay. So I think probably playing online poker is illegal in Wisconsin, but he's probably not going to be playing. He's just sponsoring it. But that is a distinction with a difference, obviously. I don't know. Let's listen to this video, see what he has to say.
Today, we need a sweep. All the games not until 6:10. All right, need the Cubs to lose. How are they doing? Currently losing. Need the Dodgers to lose.
Is he gambling? Is this dude gambling?
Currently winning. Poop.
So he's wasting more money by gambling on sports teams. How does this guy have any money?
Thanks for doing a stream today. Anytime.
By the way, you see him moving his mouth and looks like he might be chewing. He's not. He's moving around the Zyn he has in there. It's a 9 milligram nicotine pouch, essentially. It has 9 milligrams of nicotine, which is a crap ton.
I heard Yellow Streak is saying the term is a scam, so I immediately signed up. Let him. It's not a scam. It's backed by probably the biggest name in online poker.
Why wouldn't he tell us the name? I mean, if it's so legit, I'm confused. I mean, I guess you find out if you sign up, but
I'm not, obviously. It's so funny. All these morons were like, oh, he's running an illegal poker tournament. Like I was going to run it like what with my webcam, and then I was going to have everyone else have webcams. Obviously, I reached out to all the big poker sites and I said, hey, I'm a big creator. This is what I want to do.
I love this. You're not a big creator, pal. You got a lot of subs, but most of them are ghost subs and they don't watch you, okay? And your views are at an all-time low.
Can you set it up for me? I make no money from it.
What?
It's not a scam.
The look on his face. He's sniffing again. Boy, Adderall nose. Dead air. Dead air. Dead air.
The NBA and WNBA.
He's breathing heavy. Good Lord, this guy, he's so out of shape.
NBA are controlled by China. That's probably true.
Is this his live stream? He just sits and talks with his chatters?
Who would have thought a 5-time... wait, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you're mad at Trump? Okay. Does that make you feel better? To spurg about it?
Oh. Right.
Does it make you feel bad? I hope it makes you feel better.
Right. He doesn't want to say anything bad about Trump for some reason.
I've been wanting to play some poker, but Hard Rock doesn't have it down here. Well, go to the corning.com/poker. The site I used basically lets you play for real money if you want, or you can play for fake money.
Why would you play poker for fake money? What? That's like playing poker and then the stakes are chopsticks or toothpicks. What's the point?
But it's legal in most states. And I have successfully withdrawn about $50,000 from the site. So
A little slip there. How'd you get 50 grand? Is that what they paid you?
and be careful when you draw your winnings because you got to pay taxes on them. You still got to pay taxes. It's not
You think he pays taxes on his gambling winnings? There probably aren't any.
a loophole. It's all legit. Whatever the amount is in your state. You know, if you win this random tournament, I doubt you have to pay taxes on it, but
I would think you would have to, yo. What's he talking about? Of course you would have to pay taxes.
okay, we're fighting about Trump in chat. Okay, I guess I'll just get back to work.
This is his idea of work. Oh boy.
I guess.
Low effort schlub.
Yeah, it's a lot of tards today.
Oh boy. Yeah, you're one of them, pal. You're one of them. The Kino Grow. This will push people out of your game. The quartering next content pivot is to take shape. I've never won a big tournament, says the guy who just said he got 50 grand. I think he was talking about his promotional payout, probably. He probably didn't mean to, but he couldn't help but flex. This guy can't help himself. If you want to stay away from these dorks, join my tournament. Maybe we'll do it all the time. Ooh. This should be interesting. Oh, boy.
I don't know how you could even tweet anything you did and end it with your last statement. Are you stupid? All these people with poker profiles that nobody's ever heard of.
Well, nobody nobody knows who you are on the poker gambling world. Okay, buddy?
I don't get it. I guess maybe Tim Pool's name is gold in terms of getting clicks. But let me issue a warning, poker community.
He's so jealous of Tim Pool. He's so jealous.
As somebody who's seen just about every amazing hobby destroyed by this exact same behavior, this will push
Is gambling an amazing hobby?
people out of your game. Because most people at that table are either apolitical or they agree with Tim. If you combine the apolitical people and the conservatives on a poker table, that's going to be probably 80% of your players. So
Well, you're not a conservative.
if every single poker table is sitting there whining and complaining about some e-celeb playing their game, they're not interested in the game. They view it as their own. It's the same mentality that the WNBA has. We want to succeed, but not with a white girl. We want to be good, but not with a white girl. It's because he's a bad guy. Most people play poker don't benefit that much from a few new morons maybe starting poker because they see Tim Pool doing it. Wrong.
Is Tim Pool even a good poker player? I haven't heard about him winning any big pots. I don't know.
Everybody benefits from bigger pots.
Guy must have money to burn. Tim Pool must have money to burn. I guess the little, the beanie wearing folks are a lot of dough in his pocket, maybe.
And the people that benefit the most are the better players. So why would you be coming out? Why would you be coming out and having a problem with it? Why would you be melting down about it?
About you getting involved in poker? Because we want you to crash and burn? We don't like you? Once you got down in flames, buddy? Now you're shifting, you're pivoting, you're trying to change your grift to stay alive, to stay relevant?
A lot of people have a lot of fun playing the game and have never won a big tournament. I love playing it. I've never won a big tournament.
Yeah, you're a loser, pal. Of course not.
Made some final tables. It's fun. But imagine being so pathetic that you're in here whining and complaining that Tim won $200.
Is that the full extent of how much that guy's won? And he's about as good at poker as he is at riding a skateboard, yo.
It's ridiculous. You're going to destroy your community. I've seen it play out before. By the way, if you want to stay away from these dorks, you could join mine.
No buy-in? What do you mean no buy-in? What? You don't need to... that doesn't make any sense to me. How can there be no buy-in? Don't you have to have money to bet? I mean, I would assume if the total prize pool's $1,000... What? I don't get this. There's got to be some... I don't know. There's got to be... You have to link your debit card or something. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to bet any money.
I'm going to see how much interest there is. So the quartering.com/poker going to run a free tournament on the 30th evening. That's next Sunday. If you're interested, email me. If we get enough people and I can get everything finalized, maybe we'll do it all the time.
They paid him $50,000 for this? What? Wait, but who's the company that's supporting this that would give this guy $50K? I don't know how he could get any new sponsors at this point. He's so unpopular. He's not famous. He's nefarious. He's universally hated. And his views are garbage.
We'll push out these dorks. Congrats on your win, Tim.
Anybody that doesn't want you in that community is a dork.
Good job.
In for 400. Out for Styx 13. Wow. You're such a big winner, Tim. No. You wouldn't need the little beanie people if you were that talented, pal. It's quite the opposite, actually. Your lack of talent is why they came to you, all right? You can't make it on your own, buddy.
And with
they
that,
know it.
We're going to
and they know it.
wrap up today's stream. I've got to go pick up dinner and go pick up a steak.
Didn't he say he has gout? Dude, you're eating too much red meat. You need to eat a variety of different animal products. I eat cheese, I eat sausage, I eat fish, bacon, eggs. I mean, why are you just eating red meat, dude? All right, he's getting his advice from Melanie Mack. Oh, boy, I'm surprised he's still alive.
I hope you guys all enjoyed the Sunday stream, and we'll see you tomorrow at our normal stream at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Streamed on a Sunday.
With all new topics.
Okay, whatever. That's too long. Behold, says the quartering, pure, uncut, tar diem. Imagine thinking, I'm not working with a legit online poker partner who will host it. Who? Tell us the name. Holy crap. Hate makes people dumb. Dude, pot kettle black, every decision you've made the past 3, 4 months, 5 months has been dumb. All fueled by hate. Your hatred for Fat Man and Little Cokehead, your hatred for other people who have been dunking on you, has led you to make some very, very poor choices. Just burn it all down. As long as it's being all burnt down, I'll take you all with me. Why not? What an imbecile. Yeah, make sure you sign up. Spots are limited. Yeah, they're not that limited, pal. I don't know who would want to sign up for this. Savvy, Madam Savvy on Twitter says, once again, at the quartering, no, it's not legal, especially in your state, to host a gambling tournament without going through proper regulatory means. So, I don't think he's hosting it in Wisconsin. There's got to be some kind of legal loophole here. So it's going to be posted on the intraweb, but he's not personally hosting it. There's an outside vendor who is using him to promote their gambling website that obviously isn't in Wisconsin. So it's not being hosted in Wisconsin. So he lives in Wisconsin, and yes, he is promoting it on his channel, which is on the web, but he's not posting it from any servers in Wisconsin. Because it's associated with your branding and you probably intend to stream it, you stand to profit from it, which is worse in the eyes of the law. So he's not streaming it because the people who are going to be at the tournament, it's going to be on the web. So it's going to be electronic. People are going to be sitting at their computer on some kind of server, some kind of online room that has servers that are not in Wisconsin. She goes on to say, you're a moron. Well, I agree with that. Most anyone else doing this on small scale, no one would really care. But because it's you, quartering people will be eager to report this violation. I don't think it's a violation. I'm not sure it is. Because there are some distinctions here that make a difference. I.e., for one, it's not being held in Wisconsin. He's just promoting it, and even though he lives in Wisconsin, he's promoting it online, and it's not going to be held in Wisconsin. And whatever electronic mediums that it's going to be occurring on or hosted by are not in Wisconsin. So there's enough vagaries there that, in regards to the law, they probably will be okay. Anyway, hey, she goes on to say gambling and lotto stuff ended up being a huge topic 10 years ago thanks to all the illegal lottos. Didn't he do some illegal lotteries at one point, if I recall? The streamers would host. We've already done this. That's why everyone does things in very specific ways. Gambling to idiot, just an idiot. I don't know if this is legal. I don't know how much of a difference it makes in the eyes of the law. I mean, there is a difference between just being a promoter, not even promoter, he's advertising it, right? On his channel, which, yes, is streamed out of Wisconsin, based in Wisconsin, but the poker tournament itself will not be happening in Wisconsin. So I don't think it rises to a level of illegality, but I don't really know. It's hard to say. I don't think it's illegal. But let me know what you think in the comments section. Is this how the quartering intends to save his channel? Is with this gambling grift? I know there's a lot of content producers who make a lot of money off of gambling. Is he going to make a lot of money? I don't know. I really don't know how this guy grifted his way into promoting this tournament. I honestly can't believe he was able to convince anybody to sponsor him and give him $50K. That looks to be how much. That's how much he said. You know, he didn't win no $50K. The loser that he is, come on. This guy can't gamble worth a damn. If somebody gave him that much money to promote their gambling website, I assume if it goes well, I assume the point is for a lot of people to sign up and then gamble on the site after the tournament, so they become members of the site. They're going to have to use money. No buy-in, that's nonsense. I mean, no buy-in, but you have to still have money to gamble with in the tournament. I guess they'll decide whether or not they use him to sponsor their website, to sponsor the services they offer more in the future, based upon how many people he's able to get signed up for this tournament using the site. And as we all know, gamblers are the biggest degenerates in the world, which makes sense, considering the quartering is a big, giant degen. It makes sense he would be love gambling, right? Be a gambling man. Bad at it, as most gamblers are. They seem to be addicted to the losing more than anything else. Makes the winning that much more special when it happens, which is quite rare. But I don't know. Let me know what you think. Is he going to be able to save himself with this current gambling crap? Is he going to be able to bring in enough cash to keep himself afloat? Him and his $10,000 mortgage and all his overhead and his Melanie Mac money he's got to pay weekly and all those other expenses? I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Let me know how you think this guy was even able to get anybody to sponsor him. I mean, his current social blade numbers are in the toilet ever since he privated all of his shorts videos and then brought them back. Now they're getting like no views, so he's not doing the shorts thing anymore, and he's not able to bolster his total numbers, his total view numbers using shorts. So his actual view numbers are far more accurate now and far more visible to sponsors. So I can't believe he got a sponsor, especially for this amount. But I mean, Okay, maybe Tim Pool helped him out. Maybe Tim Pool put in a good word because he's been putting in good words for Tim Pool lately. I don't know. I got a feeling this is somehow connected to Tim Pool. Maybe a favor from Tim. Maybe Tim gave him some help and enabled him to get this sponsor. I don't know. But let me know what you think in the comments section. And please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. Hit that notification bell to be notified of any future content that I might create. Also, if you really like the raw, based way I tell it like it is, please consider supporting my channel. There's a number of ways you can do it. Number one, just leave a super chat. Any amount is greatly appreciated. It really helps with keeping the channel going, producing new content, and actually continuing to do so into the future. You can also join my Patreon, link in the description, or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel as a monthly supporting member. Kind of similar on Patreon. There's different tiers. Find out what that's about. Hit the join button below this video, or you can leave a one-time donation via my Cash App, which I get 100% of, by the way. It's totally anonymous. Also, Cash App ID in the description. Anyway, on that note, guys, I'm out of here. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day. And take care. Poker. Gambling. You know. Good luck with that, Jer. You know. Oh, I didn't turn on the screen capture. Or did I? Whatever. Uh-oh.
Out.
Wait a second. Hold on. F11. Nope. Okay, I had the screen capture on. Woo! Got afraid there for a sec that I bungled another segment. Like last week. Oh, boy. There's no comments. Oh, wow. I guess people are really tired of Jeremy Hambley. Got afraid there for a sec that I bungled another segment. Like last week.
30th.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to move on from the Jeremy stuff. Nobody seems interested about the Jer content I make. Yeah. That Fat Man and Little Cokehead have the market cornered there, unfortunately. Steve B, taking these substances can be dangerous. Mia Dolph, reveal yourself, Warlock. You shall not be hidden forever, Styx. Ha ha! Chappy Chab's in the room. Hey, Chappy, how you doing? What are the oranges for? I guess it tasted good. Check it out and let me know what you think down in the comments. You know. All right, that's it for the chat. No chat, so I'll get back to Styx. Give me a sec here. Oh, God, yeah. All right. Yeah, this is good stuff. Meaning it's really bad and cringy. So it's good. Give me a sec. I got to rehydrate, baby. All right. Picture's good. Screen capture also good. All right. I got the camera right in the correct place. Perfect. All right. Maybe I'm a little far from the microphone. All right. I'm going to do a quick sound check, guys, so don't hate me. Yeah. Give me a sec here. You're going to hear Styx. You're not going to see him.
Alright YouTube, it's time for a video on what Satanism is, what Satanism is not, what it represents to me, how it's useful, potentially, if you're interested in it, to you. I've had a lot of people lately.
Okay. Now I need to listen here, quick. There for a sec that I bungled another segment, like last week. A sec here. You're going to hear Styx. Give me a sec. Yeah, I got to do a sound check, man.
What it represents to me, how it's useful, potentially, if you're interested in it, to you. I've had a lot of people lately.
Okay. It's a little low. I don't know if it matches up. Listen here, quick. There for a sec that I... Yeah, let me turn up his volume a bit. You guys can hear him better.
Alright, YouTube, it's time for a video on what Satanism is.
Yeah, I already know what it is, pal. I already know what it is all too well.
Alright, YouTube, it's time for a video on what Satanism is.
Yeah, what is it, pal? Tell me, please. I already know what it is all too well.
Alright, YouTube, it's time for a video on what Satanism is.
It sounds about right. Chappy Chap, what's up, man? Hope you're doing good tonight. I'm all right. I'm always all right. Even when I'm not. Don't you worry. Well, all right, let me crank it up all the way. The sound is pretty low.
What Satanism is not, what it represents to me, how it's useful, potentially, if you're interested.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay, buddy. Yeah, what is it, pal? About right. Chappy Chap, what's... I'm going to do one more sound check, and then we're going to get into Styx. Way. The sound is pretty low.
What Satanism is not, what it represents to me, how it's useful, potentially, if you're interested.
Uh-huh. Yeah, okay, buddy. Yeah, what is it, pal? All right, that's good enough, I think. Might be too loud. I don't know. These headphones are crap. They're not giving me a very accurate representation of, comparatively speaking, to my own microphone gain and his speaking.
Alright, YouTube, it's time for a video on what Satanism is.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this guy, geez, he loves the sound of his own voice. Yeah, what is it? All right, that's good enough. Yeah, I'm just going to get into it. If he's too loud, so be it. I can't take no more of this guy, honestly. But, you know. He's so annoying. Oh, it's off a bit. Wait a second. I'm trying to get this centered. Whoa, what the hell? What just happened there? I'm starting to move my camera around, trying to get it just right. I think now I'm off center even more. Yeah. Jeez. I have a hard time getting this centered. What the hell? This is weird. Why isn't it? It's almost like the camera lens is moving inside the housing of the camera. It's enough. All right, let's do this. Screen capture on. It's off center, of course it is. Now it's more off center. I can't get it centered. What the hell's going on here? Still off center. What? All right, I'm getting annoyed here. Getting annoyed. All right, that's enough. I don't care. It's going to have to be good enough. So hello all and welcome. It is I, the Realist Philosopher. And this is the Realist Philosopher Show. So how y'all doing today? Hope you're all doing good, fine, and well. So we're back with Styxhexenhammer666. Now this is an old video, obviously. You can tell. He looks normal. He looks human. He doesn't have that ridiculous looking goatee that's mostly peach fuzz. Looks terrible. Only half grown in at the best of times. This is a much younger Styx, full of life, full of verve, and fervor for living, and he's here to tell us how Satanism is a step, not a destination. And using Satanism can improve your life, because it's a philosophy. No, it's not. Dogmatic religion, and a really bad one at that. But anyway, let's hear what you got to say, Styxy boy, huh? And hear more about what led you down the opposite of the primrose path, led you down the path of garbage and excrement and the road to hell and fire and damnation.
What Satanism is not, what it represents. Alright YouTube, it's time for a video on what Satanism is, what Satanism is not, what it represents to me, how it's useful, potentially, if you're interested in it, to you.
Wow, this picture's horrible. What is this, 320p at best?
I've had a lot of people lately asking me to explain Satanism to them, and of course a lot of those beliefs are actually already in video form, but people have questions about Satanism. They want me to explain how it can particularly help them in their lives.
It can't. It'll make your life worse.
Now, several hundred people already, that's not an exaggeration, have come to me asking to become Satanists.
So here's a reason you don't wear glasses when you produce content. You'll see a reflection of the screen, and you may end up giving away personal information you don't want to. Also, you will blind your audience, potentially.
And one thing I have told them...
They also want to see your eyes, because they're the windows to the soul, right?
In a rudimentary fashion, is Satanism is not a final step. Satan is, at least to me. Now, you've got to understand, my form of Satan...
Well, remember, you don't believe in gods or, anti-gods or Satan himself, right? Even though you believe in hell and demons. Makes a lot of sense.
Satanism, my understanding of Satanism. I'm not a member of the Church of Satan. I'm not a member of the Temple of Set. I'm not a theistic Satanist in the strictest sense. I've got my own type of Satanism. I don't give it a specific label because
I'm too edgy. I'm too cool to fit in with everybody else, to conform. I belong to no organizations of any kind. I'm a rebel, baby.
Don't think it can be labeled.
Ah.
It's an intellectual Satanism. It's an elitist Satanism. It doesn't believe that everyone is capable of becoming a Satanist, although...
Dude lives in Rutland, Vermont, in a hovel. But he's an elite Satanist. Yeah.
It encourages them if they want to try. And if it doesn't work for them, it doesn't matter. They can do whatever makes them happy in their life, and they're still...
That's what you should do. Makes you happy. Eat the moment. Pleasure for pleasure's sake. Yeah, that's not happiness.
In a way, living a satanic lifestyle just by doing what makes them happy.
Whoa.
The purpose of Satanism to me...
By the way, don't just do what makes you happy in the moment. Feeding the pleasures of the flesh.
Because I moved beyond. I was an atheistic Satanist, then I became, something totally different, and then now I no longer use the label of Satanist. I moved past...
The title of this video is Satanism?
That label when I realized that my own views, because I had studied all of these religions, all of these spiritualities, all of these forms of magic, all of these philosophies.
Magic is not philosophy. Nonsense, mumbo jumbo BS.
I realized there was something more there that Satanism could not describe.
Oh.
That being said, I have moved past Satanism. I still encourage others, if they're willing and interested, to become Satanists. Here's why. Satanism, in a psychological sense, is best seen as an antidote. It's an antidote to the poison of, depending on what group a person has been a member of, Judaism, Christianity, Islam, other different associated groups, essentially the antidote to Abrahamism.
Which he hates, by the way.
And the reason for that is this.
Although he seems to hate anything that would require conformity and give him some kind of framework in regards to morality or action in life, most importantly, right action in how you live.
When you grow up, and I had this experience too, when you grow up...
You never grew up, pal. That's your biggest problem.
Well,
it's one of them anyway. I need a new mouse. I click on it once and it clicks twice and the screen shuts down.
A Christian or Islamic specifically country, especially Islam and to a great degree Christianity as well, you are filled from a young age with fear. You're told to be afraid of Satan. You're told to be afraid of God. You're told to respect and fear your elders. You're told
That's a good thing. You should respect your elders. Fear is also a good thing, pal. You're afraid of getting burnt. You don't touch the hot stove, buddy. Fear serves a purpose, pal. If you had more of it in your life might have turned out better.
their word goes, listen to them, listen to the Bible, listen to the Quran, listen to the preacher, listen to the imam, pray, fast, go to
How dare some old person think they know more than me? Some dumb young kid. You can't tell me what to do.
sleep, don't masturbate, don't eat these foods, don't listen to this kind of music, don't watch this movie because it's satanic. You're given all of these ridiculous rules over your life.
Yeah, how many kids followed the don't, choke the monkey one? Come on, nobody takes that one seriously, pal. He likes to throw that unreasonable one in there so that you'll discount all the other very reasonable restrictions in these religions.
They don't make sense. They're not based on reason. They're based on superstition.
Dude, you worship an owl demon and you believe in and practice magic. What do you mean? Why are you're discounting superstition, but that's your whole life?
From a left-hand path perspective, the way in which most, not all, that's something I'll get to in a later video, not all, but most Christians and
But he's got half his face covered with his hair. Is that supposed to be cool or edgy? Trying to pull a Kurt Cobain there, buddy? You're not that cool, pal.
Muslims and Jews practice their religion. It's superstition. It's superstition which doesn't actually work. Now, there are, as I said, and I will explain it.
What does it mean? Then is it... Oh, there is some superstition that does work. Then is it superstition, then?
In depth later, there are groups within these religions that do understand what they're talking about. They have a much greater mystic connection.
Mystic connection.
Satanism is, and this is my opinion, this is not something that I can quantify as a fact, I believe is the best way used for a course of several years in a person's life who has been filled with all of this fear and garbage from all of these cults, which masquerade as mainstream religions. They're really cults broken down into thousands of smaller groups. The best way to get rid of that religious brainwashing is
Brainwash. You don't think that humans need some kind of boundaries? Controls? Really? You don't think so?
to understand the concept of Satanism. It shouldn't be seen, again, as I'm becoming a Satanist, I'm going to stay a Satanist forever, I'll die a Satanist. It shouldn't be like that. What you should be doing is using Satanism with its philosophy of do what you want, don't harm others in the process, obviously.
Yeah, but how do you, wait, do what you want, just don't harm others in the process. But what about unintended consequences, right? I mean, you say just do whatever you want, just so long as you don't directly, knowingly harm others. But what about harm caused via consequences of your actions that you don't foresee? Like setting a bad example. And then these kind of actions leading to a degradation of society and respecting nothing and holding nothing in reverence and only caring about the material world, the materialistic, and becoming a hedonist.
For multiple reasons. Number one, they can harm you, and number two, it's just naturally, organically wrong. Don't harm others, but do whatever you want.
Yeah, unalive the kiddos, right? Get rid of the kiddos. That doesn't harm anybody, right? Well, except the kiddo, of course. But hey, we'll just, play with language a little bit and call it a zygote or a parasite, neither of which is accurate, really. And we can unalive it because it's not a person, right? It's not human, even though it is human. Right. Yeah, do what you want. I say it's not a person, so I can harm it.
And use your head. Think. Look, and I've told people, examine what you're afraid of. Examine what you've been raised to fear. Do you fear heavy metal music, piercings, black clothing?
Well, I don't fear heavy metal music. I just don't like it. I think it's garbage, but I hate to each his own. I don't fear, what are you saying I should fear? Piercings? Tattoos? Well, I mean, these things aren't good for you. Don't tattoos trigger your immune system? They can mess you up real good. I mean, tattoos, it's not such a good thing, man. It's a desecrating your body, which is the temple, right? As for piercings, why would you want those? Why would you want piercings, man? They're hideous. They're ugly. That's about the ugification of the human body.
Black clothing, which are things that a surprisingly large number of people admit that they fear. Do you
I wear black all the time. Why would I fear black clothing? What are you talking about?
fear somebody if they walk down the street and they're wearing a black trench coat and they've got piercings and pale skin? Do you fear them?
Dude, nobody's afraid of you, pal. Okay? Nobody.
If so, you may have been raised and brainwashed to believe in neo-1980s style, satanic panic style, that person's going to go kill a cat and worship the devil.
Is this prophesizing? Is this him speaking? Is this him projecting? Is this a self-report? I don't know, Styx. Cats don't seem to have a good track record around you, buddy.
You need to get past your fear.
It depends on what you're afraid of. Some fears are quite rational and reasonable and keep you from harming yourself or others.
You need to get past your apprehension. It's psychological buildup, and I've used this metaphor. A human being is a computer. When
It's an organic computer to a point. Our brain is, for sure.
they're born, they come preloaded with a very small number of programs that are essential for them to be able to turn on and off, absorb energy, essentially just function.
This is the exact interpretation I would expect from a materialist like you, buddy.
It isn't until later in their life when they're capable, then you give them programming that allows them to comprehend their surroundings, language and things like that, language and symbolism. Once they've been programmed with that, everything else that's given to them is completely artificial. Religion...
What do you mean artificial? Knowledge is artificial? What if it's true? I mean, artificial, what do you mean? Or, what it represents isn't. The things that language describes isn't. The things that knowledge makes reference to. So, what's he talking about, artificial? What?
Is like using a program from the 1980s and putting it on a modern computer. These are programs, these are ideas,
They're outdated? Like what? Could you be more specific? No, he can't be.
beliefs that are completely outdated. And over time, an originally fairly good idea may have been corrupted by, metaphorically, by viruses, literally by simply human transmission and corruption in general, over time corrupted into something worse.
I don't know, pal. I mean, life has gotten a lot better in the West to such an extent that people are on the left, mainly, are having to create problems to have something to bitch and moan about because life is so good, so easy.
What Satanism does is it forces you to go internally. And this should be the goal of everyone that I tell. If they want to become Satanists, this is what I tell them. And this is what I'm telling you if you're watching this and you've taken my advice and you've joined.
Dude, if Satan isn't real, then why are you calling it Satanism? If it's based on a being who is evil, he's just misunderstood. Satan's a good guy. It's God that's bad. Oh, I see.
Join Satanism. What you need to do is not say you're going to stay an atheistic Satanist for the rest of your life. Just examine your life. Examine what you're afraid of.
Uh-huh.
Who are you afraid of? What are you afraid of? What concept or idea or being? Are you afraid of the devil?
I'm not really afraid of much of anything. I'm not afraid of, living either. So I don't have much, if any, fear. I mean, I'm not too wild about, a really, really horrible unaliving, like the methodology of it. But, whatever comes after, but I'm not really afraid of that. Do I have fear? Not really.
Why? Have you been taught that the devil is a terrible being? Well, what if the devil doesn't exist?
Why is it called Satanism? Then why are you calling it Satanism, pal?
And I've given them the Doors proverb before, which I
But by the way, you believe in hell. Well, I don't get this. You say hell exists, and you're going to go there when you croak. But how is there a hell with no devil? I don't understand his...
posted about on the Styxhexenhammer666 blog. There's the common dichotomy.
He had a blog? Really? Does he still have the blog? Maybe we should check that. Maybe he's posting there.
This fallacy that it's either theism or atheism, when in reality theism is broken down into thousands of different groups. Even if you think you have the right religion, there are 1,000 other religions that claim only their way leads to heaven. So you haven't gained anything by becoming religious. You haven't staved off hellfire if any of the other religions are right. If any...
Ah, yes, but you do gain some foundational morality and ethics that you can use as a sort of framework to create boundaries within your life. Now, you're not now a prisoner, but by the way, you're a prisoner to a certain extent anyway, a slave, as it were. You're a slave to reality. You're a slave to truth. You can't make truth not truth. You can't escape reality. You cannot escape these things. He thinks he can, I guess.
You're even less well off than the atheists. Satanism is not the end result. It's simply a way to clear your mind, to begin enjoying life. People, look at the average person on the street, the average soccer mom, the average 9-to-5 average Joe.
Oh, here we go. He's got a real problem with normal people, with people that conform, right? Yeah, he hates average, everyday, normal people. Yeah.
These people do not enjoy life.
How do you know? You don't know. By the way, you tried to become one, and you failed at it miserably. I think the real reason he dislikes the so-called normal person is because he can't be one. He's not one. He can't be one. He really can't empathize with them. He's not really able to associate with them in any meaningful way. And so instead of trying to do so, become normal, he rebels. He hates them. He's the good guy. He's the normal person. He's the one that's above and superior and, as he called it, elite. They're all dysfunctional, but not me.
Not in a realistic fashion. They think that they enjoy life. They might joke with their coworkers. They come home, have a few drinks, have sex. What a great life that is.
Dude, you're living in a laundry room, sleeping on an inflatable mattress, drinking yourself to death. How much do you enjoy life?
No, it's not. They've got no...
This is projection, quite honestly. This is how he feels about his life. He's trying to project that onto other people who live a different life. As he terms it, normal, boring life. Yeah. I got news for you, pal. You're boring. And your life is boring. Very boring.
No connection to anything spiritual. They hypocritically will go to church every few weeks and pray to Jesus Christ, or they'll go to the mosque and pray, or they'll go to the temple and pray. They're hypocrites.
But you're a giant hypocrite too, buddy. You've as much as admitted that.
These are the kind of people that fertilize their lawns and then say, well, the lawn's gotten so long, I better mow it. These people don't have...
What? They fertilize their lawn and then they mow the lawn, and that makes them a hypocrite? Oh, because the lawns grow. The fertilizer makes the lawn grow. But then I cut the lawn. Oh, my. Yeah, because we don't want it to grow out of control. It's for aesthetics. We want the lawn to be healthy, but we don't want it growing out of control, right? Just like we don't want our appetites ruling us. And people have understood this for thousands of years, and you have to put some restrictions on human appetites or they will control us, and then will we become a slave to those appetites? You starting to understand, buddy? No.
Have a clue. They're sheep, they're zombies.
Oh, they're sheep. Aren't you a sheep to your appetites? Aren't you a slave to your hedonistic desires, buddy? Because you don't practice temperance. You don't moderate these desires.
They're not...
You just indulge them at whim, at will, endlessly for their own sake?
Not even worth a mention. They're never going to rewrite history. They're never
God, I got news for you. You're not rewriting history, except how to not live your life.
going to do anything substantial. They don't
Which, by the way, has been well understood for quite some time. See, you're not even really rewriting history in that manner.
have their own ideas. They're not capable of comprehending anything significant.
How do you know? Oh, you're the arbiter of what is significant. By the way, how do you know they don't have ideas of their own? What? You don't know. You don't talk to any of these people. You don't understand these types of people. They're normies, remember? You're about as far removed from them as humanly possible.
They're not capable of synthesizing their own ideas, and very few of them are even capable of understanding ideas that have been synthesized by other people.
Oh.
They're the muddled, brainwashed masses.
That's you, pal. Your brain is muddled.
And they live in fear.
Oh, yeah, because they're smart. They know something should be feared, right?
Because even if they're not religious, they still probably go to church or they believe in some god. They've never bothered to examine whether that god actually exists. They just take it on a cultural token. I've had atheists claim to me before, well, at least the deists don't go around trying to convert people. They're not always afraid. Well, actually, they're worse than the fundamentalists. They don't even really believe in many times in their own god. They just sort of worship it anyways just because of cultural reasons. They're completely brain dead, and they don't even realize they're doing it. It's like somebody sneezes and someone says, "God bless you." Well, that person's not necessarily religious, but they're still saying it. I've given up saying it, by the way.
Just want to do a quick check. Everything's working good, it looks like. Let's continue. By the way, what's with this cringy covering of half his face with his hair? Does he think that looks cool?
For this reason. So if
aren't you kind of just doing the same thing? Trying to fit into this rebel without a cause type of archetype? I mean, you're doing the same thing, dude.
if you become a Satanist, the goal is not to worship the devil or stay a Satanist. The goal is to use that to clear your mind and then look at all spiritual paths as I.
It seems like your mind is totally, completely obsessed with the material world and the pleasure it can bring you. I'm not sure how freeing that actually is. Sounds like the exact opposite of freeing to me.
did. It doesn't matter, even if you return to the one you were originally in. You've removed that same fear. You now have the ability to comprehend it more easily. And as I said, there are Christians who understand the real Christianity. There are Gnostic Christians still in the world. There are Aryan, not Aryan as in blonde-haired, blue-eyed Hitler Youth, Aryan with an I, Aryan Christians in the world. They do exist. They're small in number, but they exist. There are Jews that practice Kabbalah. There are Islamists.
Notice everybody that he talks about, who he says somehow understand better than your run-of-the-mill, are niche, small, isolated subgroups, oftentimes subgroups of subgroups. Yeah, it's always the case, the small, isolated people who don't really fit in with the larger whole, are the ones that don't know and understand the most. Like me.
Who practice magic. They do exist.
Magic.
These are the ones that actually understand the historical and linguistic applications of their religion.
Anybody practices magic is a total, complete goofball, wasting their life.
They understand what's metaphor and what's meant to be taken literally. They read from texts outside of the canonical ones, which they themselves have come to an understanding are legitimate. Most Christians.
Why would they be reading text at all? If they had freed themselves so much, wouldn't they be able to find the answers they require within themselves instead of some old dusty book, buddy?
Christians don't even know that the Apocrypha exists. They don't know about the Book of Enoch. They don't know about the Book of Jubilees. They're just as valid as anything else that got canonized at Nicaea.
I know about old, obscure books. I'm really wise.
but they don't read it because they don't know it exists. They haven't bothered to explore their own religion. They simply take whatever their parents, whatever the preacher tells them, and incorporate it into their own lives. They're sheep.
It's worked pretty good for thousands of years, pal. And until recently, when people stopped doing that, that's when things started to fall apart. Don't you think tradition serves a purpose? Offers utility and structure that allows society to function and move forward? No, it's a prison. Okay.
They're easily led. They simply are adapting the beliefs of other people. They don't make their own beliefs. They don't.
Neither do you. What are you talking about? They're just spouting crap other people have said too.
Examine their own beliefs. They're oblivious to this fact.
What fact? What fact is that?
So use Satanism as a tool. Clear your mind of the...
But Satanism's not philosophy. It's not a tool of the mind. Do what thou wilt, so long as you don't harm anybody else. But of course, you might not foresee the possible unintended consequences, i.e. harm, of your actions. But hey, whatever.
Fear. Clear your
Yeah, that's not philosophy.
mind of all this confusing jumble. You don't have to
Everything you're saying is confusing jumble.
get rid of fear entirely. You just have to acknowledge that it's there and try to move past it. You can't ever be a complete, Iron Man. I'm unafraid of everything.
Oh, I pretty much am. Once you get rid of your fear of death, once you don't fear, croaking anymore, not much to be afraid of. I mean, yeah.
never get afraid. If I saw a ghost right now, I'd just laugh and whack off. No, you'd still be afraid.
No, I wouldn't. Why care? See some ghost. I don't give a crap. Some dude in a white sheet or it's an actual ghost. I don't care. It's not going to scare me. It's the fear that can allow something like that to harm you, not the thing itself.
It would take many decades of training not to be afraid of these spiritual concepts.
Oh, it's a good thing I have that training.
I work past that every day, too.
Yeah. Except that we did it in a different way. I did it through martial pursuits, and you did it through... and you didn't do it, by the way. So let's not even get into that.
Seen things, and this is purely anecdotal, and I intend to make a full video about it later. I have seen demons.
Oh, have you? But isn't Satan a demon? He's just like a really high-tier demon, right? He doesn't exist, but other demons exist. That doesn't make any sense. What?
I don't pretend that they are demons in the Christian sense.
Oh.
I don't pretend that they are...
Then what are they? Do you even know? Why are you calling them demons then?
demons in the sense of malevolent beings possessed of a half-physical body that want me to do evil things.
But that's what they are. I don't know about the physical body. I think they can project themselves however they want, but I don't know about their true form, but what they look like in their true form. But pal, these things are evil, and they do want you to do evil stuff.
Because it's not correct.
Oh,
you study the linguistics.
Oh, you know what's correct because you read it in a book. Do you ever think the people who wrote that book wanted to lie to you, mislead you?
Explained it before, and that's not what a demon is. That's not what it means.
Oh.
I've seen ghosts before.
Oh, have you? Well, on your spice?
Again, purely anecdotal. I don't
I don't know that I believe anything you say, pal.
pretend that they're actually spirits of the deceased because they're not.
Well, then what are they? Wait. Then how are they ghosts? This guy is such a goofball. How did any of you follow this low IQ ard? How did you follow this hard R goofball? Oh, they're ghosts, but they're not. What, dude? Talk about equivocation. Then what are they? Why do you keep you're using words, but you're changing the meaning? They're ghosts, but they're not a spirit of the dead. Then what are they? What?
Because that's ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. There are much better explanations. There are explanations.
Well, dude, you already believe that there's a soul, that there's a spirit, because you believe that when you die, you will go to HE double hockey sticks. So there must be a soul, because you believe there is one. You say you're going to go to hell when you die. That means you got a spirit that's going to go somewhere. So obviously, spirits exist, can exist. And if they exist, then why would a ghost not be the deceased, the spirit of somebody who has passed on? I don't understand his odd reasoning. But anyway.
Within science for some of these things. I've seen magic work.
No, you haven't.
I don't pretend to know all the details about exactly how it works, but I
No, because it doesn't.
have myself seen it work.
No, you have not.
I couldn't be a Satanist anymore. But you need Satanism first so that you can
No, you don't.
clear your mind of all the clutter, because if you don't clear yourself of fear,
What?
there are a lot of paths that are closed to you. You can't be a cowardly magician. You can't be afraid and start.
It's pretty easy to be a brave person in an arena that doesn't exist, pal. I'm a brave wizard. Is magic real? No, it's all bull. It's all fantasy. It's a fantasy world. It's made up mumbo jumbo, and in that mumbo jumbo world, I'm brave. You're not brave. Okay.
Practicing meditation and trying to release your Kundalini energy, because you'd start hallucinating and see something crazy and end up in a mental ward.
Didn't he end up in a mental ward at one time? Yeah.
Have to banish the fear before you can do these things.
I do admit that banishing fear, overcoming fear is important in life, but this stuff ain't life. What he's talking about is fairy tale nonsense that is the exact opposite of life. It is escapism.
Even if you stay in Satanism, though, it still has its own added benefits. You will enjoy life more.
No, you won't. Look at your life. Your life is a nightmare. Your life is a disaster. You spend all day reading these garbage books, practicing these rituals, doing this blood magic nonsense, becoming ever more isolated from your fellow human beings. It's largely a solitary practice. You're an agoraphobe. You're afraid of everything. Your life is constant fear. What are you talking about? You haven't conquered your fears. You've increased them exponentially.
Satanism does promise a better life for most.
Yeah, it promises it, but it doesn't deliver. It delivers where you are right now, drinking yourself to death in a potatoes laundry room.
Of the people which adapt it. Why? Because Satanism teaches you to live life to its fullest.
No, it doesn't. Do what you want as long as you don't harm anybody else. That's not a way to live your life. You're removing all restrictions. Do whatever you want. You think that sounds freeing, but it's not. It's actually another form of slavery, and a much worse one, okay?
Christianity and Islam, they tell you, don't do this, don't do this, don't do that, don't.
Right, because doing those things is bad for you and immoral, because it's bad for you. Don't harm anybody. What about harming yourself? I don't see the harm. Yeah, because you're blind. You are a sheep, buddy.
Don't have sex before marriage. Don't.
Yeah, that's a good thing, man. You shouldn't do that. You have babies out of wedlock. You don't support the child. Of course, he married the, broad from Holland, whatever, and he ditched her, right? So marriage isn't a guarantee. But it's certainly more of a guarantee than just going around and blowing your, proverbial real load in other broads, random broads, and then having all these kids and not taking care of them. See, sex is for making kids. So you want to marry the broad that you're having sex with so that you have a vested interest, so that there's more of a bond there. If, creating that tie that's supposed to bind, which is the child, ain't enough. Now there's more. Now there's a ritual. Now there's a ritual that the public, that your neighbors and friends and families have seen. It's become codified. It's taken on a form and a function in your life. You'll take it much more seriously. At least you should. Meanwhile, you're saying, no, don't do that. Just bang and clang. You're not harming anybody except yourself. You're removing a way to find purpose and meaning of great depth in your life. Oh, but that's not harming myself. I'm not harming anyone. And what about that child I abandoned because I didn't take having that child very seriously? Am I harming that child by doing this? Nah, if I am, who cares, right? I don't see that harm because of my worldview, which is satanic in nature. Do whatever you want as long as it doesn't harm anybody else. Meanwhile, my worldview doesn't allow me to see the very harm that I am leaving in my wake of doing whatever I want.
Whack off. Don't eat these foods. Don't.
Yeah, I don't agree with that one. want to whack off, go ahead. Who cares?
Pork, by the way, is delicious. I moved
Yeah, you throw the baby out with the bathwater. There's some silly crap in the Bible, like don't eat meat on this day and don't wear this color on that day, and because of that silly stuff, you should throw out the good stuff too that makes sense, that people have discovered over thousands of years of experimentation and seeing what works and what does not work in human society. Throw that stuff out too. Yeah, you're a real genius, buddy.
moving more towards vegetarianism myself, but bacon is still delicious, I will admit. Don't eat on this day because it's sacred to some
Yes, yeah, I called it. This guy is so predictable.
carpenter in the sky. Don't say these words. Don't say fuck because it's a sin. Why? It wasn't even around then.
The Bible doesn't say anything about that. It doesn't.
Simply means to have sex with somebody. Why is it a bad word? Nobody ever explained that. All these
I think the reference is to casually having sex. I'm not a fan of that, and I don't promote such.
things you're not supposed to or not allowed to do without...
Yeah, because they're bad, because they're harmful, and they degenerate and destroy society. Because people are living the lifestyle that you promote, people ain't having kids anymore. We're below replacement rate. And by the way, the Mexicans, the people south of the border and in third world countries, they're having tons of kids. Guess what happens when they move to develop first world countries? Within 3 generations, guess what they're also not doing? Having enough kids to replace themselves. Is that good, Styx, if the human race ceases to exist? Because that's the direction we're headed in, buddy. Wouldn't that qualify as harmful? I don't see the harm in that.
being punished for it, and that's nonsense. That's what Satanism gets rid of.
Yeah, it gets rid of all barriers and boundaries that keep us moving forward and healthy and being productive and good people and creating an environment and a society and a culture that is actually cohesive to promoting your well-being as a human being. The stuff that you promote does the opposite. It breaks everything down and promotes anti-human well-being. But I don't see that because of my worldview, which is based on Satanism. Satan, right.
It gets rid of fear, and it gets rid of the idea people usually, they conform to whatever they're told to do. They're told something's wrong for long enough, they honestly believe it's wrong. Well,
Sometimes it is wrong, pal. A lot of the time it is.
they never examine why. They never examine if for them there's a reason for it not to be wrong.
Yeah, that's why I'm all about education, baby. That's why schools should be teaching logic, reason, critical thinking, ethics, morality, exploring these issues in depth. But of course they don't, because they don't want you to be ethical, moral individuals. They want you to be like this guy. Everything's relative. There's no such thing as objective morality.
Satanism clears that up. It is
No, it
a
doesn't.
step.
No,
It is-
it's a step to hell. It certainly is that.
It's not a destination.
It is, and the destination is called hell. Hellfire, brimstone. Little devils that you believe exist. You call them demons with pitchforks, buddy.
It is an antidote, not a cure.
It's a poison.
You need it first. You don't have to have it first. You could jump into some other spiritual form outside of Abrahamism. But I found, and I'm sharing that with other people, I'm not trying to convert anyone who's not interested in Satanism already. I'm simply trying to educate those who are already open to accepting such a path. And people
Do you know how many lives this guy's destroyed? Do you know how many lives he's ruined, potentially, with this kind of nonsense, by leading people down this path? People say to me, why are you continuing to dunk on this guy? Why are you beating a dead horse? Why are you going after somebody who's on the ground and has no fight left in him? This is why I'm going after the ideas. Don't you understand? I'm trying to wake people up and get them to see how harmful these kind of teachings are. And this guy's worldview has led us to where we are now in the West, and is why the West is declining. This worshiping of self and putting hedonistic pleasure at the top above all other things.
Christians have said, oh, well, you're just trying to win people over for the devil.
Yeah, that is what he's doing. You don't realize that? But you're a useful idiot, pal.
These people come to me and ask me questions. I'm not going out of my way to convert other people. I'm telling.
Yeah, but you're giving them wrong information, bad information, harmful information that will be deleterious to their future well-being and their ability to find purpose and meaning in their lives. You won't find it in just shagging a bunch of random broads, which maybe you figured out by now in your drunken stupor.
I can help them convert if they're already interested. A common misconception. I'm not going to go out on a missionary journey for Satan.
This whole channel has been that, buddy. That's what you've been doing. How do you think you've experienced so much success until now, pal? You think it's because you're talented?
It wouldn't make sense to do it. I'd get laughed out of town anyway. Especially if I was in Kansas or, eastern Texas or something. But anyway, just a little bit about Satanism, what it means, what it doesn't mean. It is not a destination unless you make it so.
More rhetorical nonsense, pal. It's a path to perdition.
If you choose to follow Satanism, and you can message...
You mean Satan?
Me with any questions that you want about the subject.
What a self-important a-hole. That's all this is about. Glorification of self, namely himself. Wow, this picture is a perfect representation. He looks like a demon in this pic, doesn't he? Look at him. You see the demon in that face? I do.
If you choose it, I can help you segue into it.
Yeah, you got to choose it. Free will, baby. And I'll trick you into choosing it.
At a later date, when you have banished that fear, if you want something else, I can probably help you with that too. Do you want...
Banish fear by facing fear. It's that simple. This is not how you banish fear, okay?
Want to get into paganism of some form, Wicca or whatever. There are plenty of people who will teach you about these forms. I can teach you what I've learned and what I think is the right path for me, and you can try it out, and you may or may not like it. Or you can go to Buddhism or Hinduism or agnosticism. You can become whatever you want. Satanism is just to banish all of the other...
Satanic Buddhist?
People's bad programming so that you are returned to yourself.
This is bad programming, yeah. You can find nirvana as long as you do it through Satanism. Oh, Stolas got a good deal here, baby.
And then you can more easily make a clear decision. That's all Satanism is. And all of these organizations, Last Word, Church of Satan, Temple of Set, whatever, bunch of charlatans. They want...
And so are you.
Your money. They don't want to help you.
Dude, haven't you been making money off this crap for going on 20 years now? We know you care about money a lot. What are you talking about? At least you did until recently. But that was more circumstantial instead of actual choice on your behalf. They did make a lot of bad choices, pal.
Otherwise, they would not exist and actually be able to afford administrative headquarters.
Almost as if you were a slave to your emotions and desires and had no control over yourself, which led you to where you are now. Oh, but this is a good path to follow.
So don't bother with them because they're a bunch...
I would say bother with them, yeah. Bother with them, especially the morality and the ethics. Especially the ethics, okay?
Of idiots that just sit around all day and run blogs.
Yeah, this whole, follow, live my life via some kind of harm principle view of the world. As long as I'm not harming anybody else, I'm good to go. This ignores the fact that there's a lot of harm that's done that you don't see. All right, and it all depends on your worldview and how you define things. And we've seen just how easy it is to do harm when your worldview tells you, well, that's not human. But anyway, there you go. So that's enough from this demonic entity, this demonically, at the very least, oppressed entity known as Styx. So this is what I'm talking about, people. This is why I make these videos, to teach a correct countermeasure, a message that will actually lead you down a positive path that will be conducive to your life. And at the very least, let you know the path you don't want to walk. One that teaches, do what you will is the whole of the law. So long as you don't harm anybody else. But you don't really have a really good, well-rounded idea of what harm is or how it's achieved. And you're not very good at seeing the unintended consequences of your own actions. So you may be doing a lot of harm, but you don't see it, which is definitely the case here. But anyway, there you go. So let me know what you think in the comment section, and please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already. You want to be notified of any future content that I might create, please hit that notification bell and leave a comment. I hear it's good for the algorithm. I don't know. Also, if you'd like to support my continued content creation, there's a number of ways you could do so. Number one, you can leave a super chat. Any amount's greatly appreciated. It really helps me to continue making new content. You can also join my Patreon, link in the description. Or you can join my YouTube channel as a monthly supporting member. There's a join button there below the video. And, of course, there is a more direct way to make donations via my Cash App. It's 100% anonymous, and I get 100%. So if you'd like to choose that option, my Cash App ID is in the description. Anyway, on that note, I'm out of here. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day. And take care. Yeah, there's no harm. There's no harm. Just do whatever you want, man. I mean, as long as you're not directly harming somebody, right? In the moment, you don't see the harm happening in real time, then it's okay. Yeah. No problem. Interesting and very destructive world view on display from this guy. Yeah. Right, he's so brilliant. He's a special genius, right, folks? He's so smart. Styx of old was so smart, right? It's only now, lately, that he's become so incomprehensible. Sounds like he's spouting babble. No, this guy was always a dimwit, okay? Always. The people that tell me this guy was such a genius at one time, I'm like, no. He was never a genius. He was never even intelligent. He was just a very confused young man who was now a very confused, prematurely aged drunk who's probably laying in a ditch somewhere. And they just ain't found his body yet, okay? There's no more comments? What's going on here? I must have missed something. Maybe I didn't. No, there's no comments in the comment section. What's happening here? Mia Dolph, reveal yourself, warlocks. You shall not be hidden forever, Styx. Chappy chap. Oh, what are they? Oh, okay. The oranges for chap chap. That's it? The comments are gone? Pizza Planet says very tappable Styx here. Really? I think he's hideous. I think that's an ugly guy, but okay. I mean, to each his own. Okay. Hey, what do I know? People seem to like the Manson look, all right? That man, what was he, 5'1"? Manson was like a midget. He was like a very small guy. He was almost the same height as Danny DeVito, but the broads, they seem to like him. A very charismatic guy, yo. At least he fancied himself such, and he seemed to do pretty well with the mentally deficient broads, right? Guy was good at finding himself low IQ, brain-damaged chicks to bang. If you got no standards, as I've always said, no standards makes it very easy to find broads. There are comments? I don't see them. Well, I mean, there's comments, but not after this video, the most recent Styx piece. At least I don't see them. If they're there, that's odd. I mean, there's comments, but not after. There's only like one or two about this most recent video I just did commentary on. That's what I meant. You know. I mean, again, if they're there, I don't see them. I don't know. Maybe YouTube is blocking comments? Oh, you must have just thought I was speaking generally. You know, I was speaking about that last video I did of Styx. Nobody commented on that. I mean, again, if they're there, I don't see them. I don't know. By the way, is my volume okay? Seems a little low. I don't know. Generally, you know, I was speaking about that last video I did of Styx. It seems all right to me, but I might need to up the output of my microphone. Yeah. I have some pretty tight controls on my mic because I tend to raise my voice sometimes, but sometimes those controls make the audio a little too low. No, I don't see the comments if there are any. I mean, not recent comments. There were a bunch before, but now I don't see any new ones for that video. But let me see here. Let me go look at this from...
Thank God.
Yeah, let me go look at the room publicly and see if there's any difference. Okay. Turd Bert says he had some decent takes during the Koof hysteria, but terrible takes and everything else, especially immigration. Yeah, he seems to be pro. I mean, yeah, I really don't. I don't know, man. If he had decent takes, I ain't heard him. The problem with Styx is that this is his ideological view of the world. It's foundationally based on this nonsense gobbledygook that the prime tenet of seems to simply be do whatever you want. As long as you don't harm anybody else, whatever that means. Harm is highly subjective in many cases. As I mentioned, your own worldview can stop you from seeing the potential harms of your actions until it's too late. You may not see them ever. And so it's like, well, a lot of that has to do with how you classify things. Because oftentimes we don't see harming things, say, that are not human as being harm. He's got a very problematic view of the world. I really don't know what his idea of harm is, or if he even has any kind of moral or ethical system. He doesn't really seem to. It just seems to be do whatever you want as long as there's no direct harm being caused. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me, man. I mean, what about indirect harm, right? You can still do harm. And what about yourself? What about harming yourself? Well, what do you consider harm? And we know that he cuts himself, right? Isn't that harm? Isn't that bad? Wouldn't that be immoral? But you should still do it? Why? You're harming yourself. Isn't that bad? By the way, what is any of this based on when you believe that morality is relative? None of it makes any sense to me. I can't figure this guy out, or people who hold this kind of worldview to begin with. By the way, this is most of your leftists in the world. They're Satanists. They just don't call themselves Satanists, but they are. They all follow. This is what I've been saying. This guy's a leftist. He's a libtard, man. He views the world the same exact way that liberals do, right? Do whatever you want. It's your body, right? If you want to harm yourself, that's okay. Oh, really? Well, isn't that bad? But that's harm, right? And harming yourself evil as well? I don't get it. I try to understand the way this guy sees the world. It's very difficult. It's quite strange. It's very strange. This is normally where I would be answering questions or talking to people in the comments section, but nobody's commenting at this point. Or if they are, I can't see the comments. Weird. Then again, YouTube could just be throttling them, so I really don't know. Who's this Pizza Planet? I think Styx is very tappable in that. I mean, let me check this person's channel. Could this be another sock puppet account of a certain tricorn hat-wearing pirate? Yeah. Well, anyway, guys, since that's it for the comments, I don't know. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Without any comments to respond to, I think I don't know why would I stick around. But yeah, that's the Styx of yesteryear. That's what he was like. He's been this way a long time. That's a very early on, more idealistic Styx, but his idealism has led him to his current state of affairs. Idealism's really bad, by the way. Don't be an idealist, okay? It's generally not an accurate take on reality. Leads you down a similar path as this guy. But anyhow, I'm going to head out now. Thanks for coming. I will be back Wednesday at the same time. And I'll be back at Friday an hour later than that. So 11 p.m., I believe it's Eastern Standard. Monday and Wednesday, and then midnight Eastern Standard on Friday. I just say New York City time. People are, it's easier for them to conceptualize that, go and search for that. So I'll be back Wednesday, 11 p.m. New York City time. On that note, I'm out of here. I am the Realist Philosopher, and I wish you all a good and pleasant day. Take care.